Alrighty, hello everyone. Today is Thursday, May the 1st. Can you believe we're almost halfway through the year? So I am Maria Lupita. I am going to be your host tonight, and we're going to be here for about 3 hours. And the whole purpose of this is for you to hopefully be inspired by what everything that I've been doing to learn social media marketing and to learn everything that I've learned about marketing. I've been in marketing since, in my opinion, since birth. I came out of the womb 3 months too early. So to the point that the doctors, when my mom had me, the doctors thought that I was not going to make it, but somehow I made my case that I was going to make it, or God had other plans. Either way, I'm still here. But today we're going to talk about all the things about the benefits, the myths, all the things that people may not know about the power of marketing and the power of social media marketing, and then how to get clients on marketing. So first of all, I want to say thank you for being here today. And today is the first time that I'm doing this presentation. So you get to be privy as to what is all coming in this Get Clients Club. But here's the incentive for you. If there's anything that I'm teaching today, because you are my special guest, you get to say, like Patty, a few weeks ago, Patty did one of these for a specific business that she has. So at the through this presentation and training, what I want you to keep in mind is, what else would you like to know? What else would you like to get coaching? What else would you like to learn how to do? If there's anything that I don't cover during this training, then I want you to let me know, because there's going to be a second training where it's going to be more of everything that you need. I did do a whole survey asking people what it was that they wanted. So after asking all these different people, they gave me all the answers, and that's how the Get Clients came to be, because I'm working with a very high level coach. If anybody knows who Russell Brunson is, I'm working with someone who is to the level of Russell Brunson. So I want to thank you. And what's happening today? We're going to be creating your social media post for the next 3 days, and we're going to show you exactly how to launch. So we're not going to be here for me to just tell you all these different things. We're actually going to show you how to do it, how to post it, where to post it, where is right for you, and then we're gonna banish all the myths that are there. And some of these are myths, but they're myths, but at the same time they're also facts. So I don't know if anybody is familiar with the phrase dialectic. I learned this from a very high level therapist. A dialectic means that there's two opposing truths, that they are both truth, that they're both fact. I hate you and I love you. That's one that everybody can relate to. So if you've ever been in love and somebody did you wrong, you genuinely hate them, but you genuinely love them. Or maybe your child, if you have children, they did something that was just atrocious. You still love them, but you hate that moment. So that's what we're going to be talking about. This workshop is going to be about 3 hours, and we're going to leave time at the end for you to ask questions, and then during the middle of it, we're going to go into where you're going to actually get to experience how to put your own post together according to what is best for you, not to what the gurus tell you what is best for you. The email will be emailed to you 72 hours with the deck, so you don't have to be worrying about taking pictures of the slides or taking screenshots and all of that. You can just enjoy and be present. And like I said, it would mean the world to me, especially because when I come here, technology sometimes, Apple and Zoom, sometimes they're fascinating and they want to take a break. So I would love for you to be on camera during during the entire time. I know that some of you are not able to, so if you're not able to, I totally understand. But do understand that it does feed, that you guys feed my energy. The other thing is that we will have, like I said, Q&A through the training. And then I do ask that all of you stay muted for the sake of the recording, for it to be its best quality. And then once you're called upon, then I will ask you to unmute, and then I will give you access to that. And again, please keep your your cameras on if at all possible. And then, but if you're walking around, or sometimes people are doing all sorts of fascinating things, then do turn off your camera because that is really distracting. And especially if you are in a place that may not be suitable for viewing, then definitely do turn off your camera, because I have seen people, they're like, well, you told me to turn off my camera, and I'm like, no, that's so you also use your common sense. And then distractions, turn off all the distractions. I know that sometimes we're trying to drive, we're trying to eat, we're trying to drink coffee, and we're trying to return our text. During this time, make sure that you're writing notes, because what I'm going to give you is things that my clients pay me thousands of dollars. And I because I'm launching this program of Get Clients Club, then I am doing this so that I can prepare all of this information and give this as the information that my members are going to get inside of my club. So I'm perfecting this for the membership, so you guys get to be the beneficiaries of this. But so turn off all distractions, because this is going to be accessible for my members. Okay. uh, my big promise for you today. My big promise is that you're going to learn the benefits of social media marketing, and you're going to learn exactly who your social media is for and how to go about benefiting. And this is exactly what I was just telling you about. Sometimes Zoom or Apple, they just decide to go on a break. So if all of a sudden you see me frozen, you see me that is off, then we'll just come back. It'll be the exact same link. So we will all come back, and then we will just keep on going. Now, something that you should know about me is that I have the biggest faith in the world, and I'm going to believe for you. I'm going to cheer you on, but I'm also about not doing dumb things. If I see you doing something dumb, like I tell some of my clients, I'm like, don't be dumb. I'm not saying that the person is dumb. I'm saying don't do the things that are dumb. I do dumb things, so I have coaches and mentors and people that speak into me. So if I see you doing something dumb, I'm gonna say don't do that, because that's just dumb. That you're too smart to do dumb things. Um, my big promise as well is that I'm going to help you. My promise is that I will help you understand the power of social media marketing. I'm going to show you how to launch it. I'm going to show you how to plug into a system. I'm going to show you how to leverage it, and I'm going to show you how to scale it. And some of the big stories that I have, even though this is a brand new program, I've been blessed that I've impacted some people around the world. So Hilda is my most favorite client, because I don't think she's here right now, but Hilda is one of my most favorite client, and very soon it's going to be Carlos as well, Dr. Carlos Alonso. But Hilda, I met her a few years ago, and she had been ghosted by people that had promised to help her. And she was trying all these different things as to how to make money online, but she was really struggling because nobody was holding her hand, nobody was coaching him, mentoring her and guiding her. So I took her under my wing. I started coaching and mentoring her, and she came under several of my programs, and she went from being a frustrated, not having any success, being ghosted by other people that she had given her hard-earned money to going and starting making sales nearly every day consistently. And now it's a joy for her to go on social media, when before it was like, oh, do I have to do this? And literally she would take a shot of adult beverages in order to make it through whenever she had to go live. So she was the girl that she would never want to do anything, but because she learned what to do that worked for her, now she's very successful at what she does. Even one of her videos got over 100,000 views, something that she could never have even fathomed before working with me. Liam is our engineer from Ireland. We're all over the world, and that's what I love about social media, that it removes all boundaries. If you have knowledge that can benefit the world, then you can definitely expand this to the world. So up until the same thing, a similar thing with Liam. Liam had worked with other experts, and they had literally not only just ghosted him, but they had actually blocked him after he gave them his hard-earned money. And he kept getting in his head, doing dumb things, even though he's very, very smart and very intelligent. Sometimes my most intelligent people and most successful people are my hardest people to work with because they try to reinvent the wheel. So he started working with me, and lo and behold, what he ended up having is that he started having success. So he has said that he's never had so much success with digital marketing until he started working with me and following what I suggest. Now, for a long time, he was working with me, but he was still trying to make a wheel, a very perfect wheel, into a square. And he couldn't, and this were his words, he couldn't figure out what that square was not rolling the way that a wheel would roll. So he was trying to reinvent the wheel as a, as a true engineer with decades of experience. So I love how Liam is working. And then Linda is a CPA that when she came to me, she had walked away from her profession. She went in to be a mom and to be a wife, and then not the pandemic, before the pandemic, the pandemic happened. So her husband went through trouble, and they decided that she needed to go back to work because of the real estate industry. So she came to me and she had to start all over again as a CPA. So she started working with me, and she said, I had my biggest year ever by working with Maria Lupita, to the point that she would literally say, Maria, I can't take more clients. Please hold back from clients. So those are things that I absolutely love. The other thing that my second big promise that I'm going to make you is that at some point during our presentation, when I finished giving you everything, is that most people often say, okay, Maria, I get all of this, but can you help me? So at the end, I'm going to show you, if you choose to work with me, then I'm going to share with you exactly how you can work with me. So right now, you can relax. We're going to just show you exactly what you need to learn. There's nothing that I'm going to be pitching you. It's just simply, it's all about you. But believe it or not, I know some of you are like, I'm going to put my credit card away. Yes, put all your credit card away, put your checkbook away. No, you don't have to pay anything. But people do ask, and people do text me, how do I work with you? So at the end, I will be showing you how you can get to work with me. And just so you know, it's going to be less than it would cost to go to a casual dinner with your favorite human. And if you live in Orange County, less than it would cost you to go to a Chinese buffet, because that's just what happened. I went to a Chinese buffet, and oh my gosh, it was so crazy expensive, and it wasn't anything fancy. So you're at the right place. Just checking in. You're at the right place if you've been thinking about starting to get clients on social media. If you're at the right place, if you're ready to start getting clients on social media, and if you've already started doing social media marketing, but you're ready to take it to the next level, you're still at the right place. Or if you are ready, you've already been having success, like um oh yes, I just saw your comment, Patty. If you might already be having success, like for instance Hilda, but she's ready to take it to the next level. So there's some people that are already having success, but they want to take it to the next level and leverage social media even more. Oh, and by the way, another thing that I gotta tell you, some of you are perfectionists, and some of you are going to, if you have not said that in the comments or in the private, so if you are texting me or sending messages, I don't see that until we go on break. But if you're like, Maria, you're not on presentation mode, we're seeing everything. I have it exactly this way so that I can know what's coming next. So it's not an error. It's just as by design that this works better for me. And you are at the right place if you have been thinking, how do I solve the problem of getting more clients? I don't know where to get more clients. Or maybe you're like me, that when I first started out, I was having to go to networking meetings. I was having to go talk to strangers. I was having to go make cold calling. I was talking to all my friends and family. I was talking to anybody that could fog up a mirror, whether they were 5 feet away from me. We were sitting. They were my waiters or whatever it was. I was always talking to potential clients, and it gets exhausting. So if you found a way to have more predictable clients, to get more predictability when it comes to clients, then this is social media will solve that problem. And social media, in my opinion, now not only will change your life, it will save your life. And I'm going to tell you, is it okay with everybody if I tell you a brief story as to how social media literally saved my life? Can I get a yes in the comments? Okay, perfect. So um and I meant to, there's supposed to be a picture here of my dad and my mom. All of my family is in Texas. Thank you, Patty. All of my family's in Texas. I am a single 50-something-year-old woman. No pets, no plants, no plus ones, no children, none of that. I love working and that's what I do, but all my family's in Texas. So my main people are in Texas. So I live right outside of Laguna Beach, and that's actually a map of Laguna Beach, and all my family's in Texas. So in April of 2021, my dad got very sick and the doctors could not figure out what was wrong with him. And at that time, I was still doing traditional getting clients. I would go to networking events, I would do cold calling, I would meet with all sorts of strangers just to be able to find a way to get clients. And it was very exhausting, very trying. But on top of that, it was also very expensive because going to conferences and going to events gets expensive. $40 here, $100 here, an event here that you have to fly to, all these different things. Dr. Carlos Alonso can testify to that because we did a lot of those, he and I. So in April, as a matter of fact, I was on a networking event with Carlos in Texas, and I found that my dad was very sick. And what happened was that the doctors couldn't figure out what was wrong. So I decided that I was going to go back to Texas and I was going to just spend time to be there for my mom and my dad. And I flew there and I stayed there, and I stayed there the majority of the month from April until June. And I would fly back for a handful of days to take care of my responsibilities here in California, and then I would fly back. Well, I didn't know that those would be the last 3 months that I would get to have with my dad. And I was just telling Craig that I don't know if he's still in the call with me right now, with us right now. But I was telling Craig, if I had not been there for those 3 months, I would have missed my dad because he couldn't sleep. He couldn't eat, or one other function that was eat, sleep, or one other one that it's really elementary. Eliminate. He couldn't do those three things. So his belly would get very big and then very hard, but then the doctors couldn't figure it out. And I remember he would get out of bed in the middle of the night, turn on all the lights in the at their place, and he would bring out his big huge Bible. And I wish I had pictures of that, but I have pictures in my mind. I have pictures in my heart. And I remember when he would get very cold because he started losing, he was very tall, bright, beautiful, blue eyes. And I would go and put blankets over him. It's like, thank you. My nickname is Lupita, and he would be like, thank you, Lupita. Thank you. My dad was the most exceptional human I have ever known, ever. My dad was just exceptional in my memory. So I got to experience all of that with him. So when that happened in April, I started searching for a way to not have to not have to go to meetings, not have to meet with people, not have to do cold calling, not have to do all the traditional methods. So I found digital marketing, a way for me to build my business online without doing all the traditional ways. So I started learning priorities. Exactly, Patty. So I started doing it, and voila, I got my first client online, and then I got my next and my next. So that empowered me and enabled me to be able to be with my dad for the most crucial time that I got to spend with him for the last 3 months. So when I tell you social media didn't just change my life, it saved my life to be able to say, I got to spend 3 months with my dad. And those were the most amazing. Yes, they were very trying. If you've ever been around a sick person in and out of the hospital, it's very exhausting. Mel can testify for that because I've been on the phone with Mel. But being able to still run my business with just a phone, because I was operating everything from a phone. So thank you for letting me share that with you, because I hope that it will inspire you that social media marketing. I remember that challenge. Yes, it was very challenging, Carlos. You know about it. So I hope that you will learn and get inspired by my stories today, that you will want to do this, because it impacts more than just your pocketbook. It impacts more than just your business. So another thing that I'm going to tell you is that I've done all the learning. I've done all the heavy lifting. I've spent many years trial and erroring, and doing things that work and doing things that didn't work, doing things that the gurus told me that were going to work, and doing the things that I did do that were a dialectic, that they do work and they don't work. They work for some and not for others. So I've done all of that so that you don't have to. And then so that you can feel comfortable as to why should we listen to Maria Lupita? Like, for instance, Lisa here and Craig and some of you that are going to be listening on the replay, you may not ever have encountered me. I'm blessed that I have Jeff and Mel and Dr. Carlos here and Patty here, that you guys have known me for quite some time. But some of you don't know me from anything. Well, last year I spent most of the year getting trained by one of the gurus. Like, he is he's most incredible human when it comes to marketing and being all about business. I'm more like him than the average human, because for me, I can work 24/7 and I would be just as happy. So last year I competed in what is called the School Games. And the School Games is a platform where people teach their passion for profits or for just bringing community. So last year I competed with 129,000 people. And yes, it says 163, but at the moment that I did it, it was 129,000, and of 129,000 people that were promoting the platform, I came in as number 3, and it was no walk in the park. So Alex Hormozi is a guru when it comes to social media, business, and being all things marketing. So I got to spend almost a year with him, being mentored by him, being coached by him, and I even got to spend an entire year. I will show you the pictures of when I went, but legally I'm not allowed to do it. And then if anybody was ever to release this, there's one particular person, human there, that is always watching me. And so I'm not able to show the pictures or share the pictures, but I can only show you this is the proof, because that was public. The other ones were in private, so we're not allowed to share, even though the majority of people do share them, but they don't get in trouble. But that's just how life is. So I've done all the failures, I've done all the myths, I've done what works, what doesn't work, so that you don't have to do that. So here's something that you want to get in your head, right? These are the facts. There's over 5 billion people on social media. So don't you think out of the 5 billion that you could get a handful of people for mortgage, that you could get a handful of people for a bookkeeping class, a handful of people how to get tax write-offs, a handful of people to go into your digital marketing, a handful of people to go to your digital membership? There is billions, and they're all really actively looking, and they're really scrolling, like literally scrolling, looking for you. But if you're not there, they're not going to find you. So what Alex Hormozi discovered was that he was all about business. He's all about business. And what he discovered was that he was not having the success that younger people were having. So when he started analyzing, he discovered that the difference between them and him was that the rest of them had a social media personal presence. That's the key. Write that down. Social media personal presence versus a business page. Or a lot of people especially when they're trying to work with gurus and digital agencies, they're going to make you a website, and I'm not saying that you don't need a website, but a website, a business page, all this fancy stuff. Well, people don't want to go hang out at your professional office. People want to hang out in your living room. So your social media personal profile is like hanging out with you in your living room. So what this is something that you want to write down in your head and visualize this. What Alex Hormozi discovered was that 78% of his sales calls were made after consuming 2 pieces of content once he started asking. And then there's also the 7-hour rule, that people will actually people will actually make a decision on what they're going to do after consuming 7 hours of whatever it is that they're learning about. So like, let's say for instance, someone wants to learn more about Lisa and her bookkeeping and CPA services, and they're going and learn everything about independent CPAs, independent tax accountants, independent, all the things that she does. And after consuming all of this, they go back to finding her on social media, and they see that she's cool, they see that she's gorgeous, they see that she's working out, they see that, oh my gosh, she even hangs out with other beautiful women. How do I know all of this? Because I watched her social media, right? I wouldn't have those stories to share. Oh man. Okay, can everybody see me? Okay, I wouldn't have those stories to share if she didn't have them there to be seen. So I'm able to feel like when I first met with Lisa, I already felt like I knew her because I had all the stories that I had seen about her. Right? I met with Craig, who used to be who is a CPA, and I know that he has 3 kids. I know that he has a wife. I know that he's passionate about faith. How do I know that? Because I went through social media and I felt like when I was talking to him, I already knew him, right? But that's just psychology. That's just the human condition as to how it works. So, what social media marketing allows you to do as a business owner, especially as an independent business owner, is that it allows you to have passive residual marketing that becomes compounding. Just like you have passive residual predictable recurring income, it works the same when it comes to marketing. Marketing can be compounding. Marketing can be something that it builds on its own. When it comes to the clients club, that is the new club that I'm building, that I'm launching, and you guys get to be privy to what I'm going to be giving inside of the club. Inside of the club, what we have is that we give you the framework so that you don't have to be frustrated. We give you the framework so that Patty, for instance, can say, Maria Lupita, I need to find out how do I go live on TikTok, because I'm like not having it. Well, then I will show her exactly how to go live on TikTok, because I train inside of my Get Clients Club twice a month so that people know exactly what they need, and then inside of the membership I show them exactly what they need to do, either with a video or a message, so that everyone every single day is getting everything that they need, so they don't end up wasting time and energy in the frustration space. Give me 1 second. Why is this not moving? Okay, so I'm sure especially Lisa and Dr. Carlos and Craig, if he's still here, you all have heard about doubling a penny, the beauty of doubling a penny every single day, right? Versus getting $1 million one time. Well, when it comes to marketing, social media marketing, it works the same way. At the beginning, it's just one piece of content, and then two, and then three, and then four. I had a girlfriend call me on Friday a week ago, and she says, "Oh my gosh, Maria, yeah, I've been watching you. You know that, right?" I'm like, "No, I don't know that." But because she had been watching me and she had been consuming all my content, she felt like she knew me, liked me, and trusted me. And in the reverse, she thought that I would feel the same because she thought that I would be doing the same. But because Instagram is something that I do passively, not actively, I just have my territory claim there. She is the real deal. Thank you. So it's one of those things. So if you can think of doubling a penny every day, when it comes to content, is the exact same thing. So imagine, drop it in the chat. How would you feel if every single month you knew without a doubt that you were going to get the right amount of clients that you needed every single month by just simply posting about your knowledge, about your experience, what I call the VIP. And we're going to be talking about the VIP. Drop in the comments, how would you feel if you didn't have to go hustling trying to find clients? What it would feel if you knew that people were raising their hand with their credit card ready to hire you, to work with you, to find data free? Exactly, Carlos, you would feel free. Imagine if you didn't have to go, not that, I mean, I'm a member of BNI, but you didn't have to go to another meeting. You didn't have to go to another networking meeting. I could never go to another in-person meeting, and I would not be concerned about not getting clients, because 95% of my clients less stressed. Exactly. 95% of my clients currently, even though I'm a member at BNI, come still from my social media and digital efforts. Anyone else would feel something if you knew that you would be getting clients every single day. I mean, every single month, because sometimes not, especially at the beginning, it takes time. More time for myself. Exactly. More time to go work out, more time to go on a girls trip, all of that. So one of the things that I need you to do right now is that I need you to pick a goal, a baby goal, an immediate short-term goal. What is it that you want to have in terms of clients? But don't make it your ideal goal. Don't make it your vision goal. But what is your baby goal? That if you got this many clients in the next 30 days, that you would be like, wow, this is awesome. Drop it in the comments. 20 clients, okay? And this is remember, this is a baby goal. So if you've never gotten clients before, right? If you've never gotten clients from social media and you've never gotten that amount of clients in 30 days, keep in mind, you want to make a realistic goal, not an idealistic goal, because I know some of you. So you want to make a realistic goal, especially if you've never gotten that amount of clients on social media through digital marketing. Then you want to make it one new client a month. Okay, that's especially for your industry. 2 bookkeeping clients, 5 adversary clients. Okay, perfect. Kevin, 5 to 10. Okay, perfect. So when you have a goal, we're able to hit that goal. So now the next thing that I want you to do is that there's a book that you want to get, and you can get for free on YouTube, and I will be giving that to you if you are in my email sequences. So one of the books that is called The One Thing. You want to choose the one thing for everything that we're going to be talking about today. If you don't have a one kind of person that you're talking to, you don't want to have a one kind of client that you're looking for, you don't have a one thing, it's going to make it very hard for you to hit the target. So before we talk about how you're going to go about getting your clients, I want you to think about what is the one problem that you solve, right? What is the one problem that you solve? Because until you know the problem that you solve, you don't know who you're going to be solving it for. And a lot of times people, and I'm not saying that that's wrong, but a lot of times people say, oh, visualize the person, visualize how old they are, if they're male, female, all of that is true. But until you know the problem that you want to solve, and you want to do it even in your sleep, even if like with me, I do social media marketing even when I don't get paid, right? So this is something that I genuinely do. So what is the one thing that I've known that significantly decreases stress for any kind of business owner? Is being able to get clients regularly and consistently by just posting on social media. Now, I'm going to give you a visual. Darn it. Okay, here we go. So I am sure that many of you have seen this, the hierarchy of competence. At the beginning, especially because there's many of you who are, or all of you actually, here are very intelligent and very successful. The more intelligent and the more successful, the more you're going to get in your way, because you don't like being wrong. You don't like looking dumb. You don't like looking stupid. So at the beginning, you're not going to have intuition about how to do it right. You're going to be unconsciously incompetent because it's new to you. It's not something that you've been doing for years. And then you're going to learn a little more, and you're going to become consciously incompetent because you're going to know what is not working. Yes, exactly, Jeff. So because you have the wrong way of looking at it, and then you're going to come to the right place, that you have the right analysis, and then you become consciously competent. Like Carlos, Dr. Carlos. Carlos called me today and he said, "What are you thinking about? What are you thinking about my videos?" Because he started after many years that we've been talking about him doing this, he finally decided to pull the trigger and get started. So now, all of a sudden, because we've been talking about it for so long, he went from unconscious incompetence, conscious incompetence, to all of a sudden he's consciously competent. And it happened literally overnight. But we've been talking about this, and he's been buying courses and he's been studying because he's highly intelligent, right? And that oftentimes will get into people's ways. But then you get to a point that is unconscious competence. And when you get there, it gets really, really good because you don't have to think, it just happens. Okay. So let me take a quick moment to check in with all of you and let me know how you're doing with what I'm sharing. If you're in a position to share, let me know. Let me know if you're getting any value or benefit out of what I'm sharing with you right now. I'll take two. I'll take two of you if you want to share. Great information. Okay, perfect. I feel stupid in social media. Okay. Yes, it is good. Okay, perfect. And Carlos, even those of us who are still, I've been doing it for years. You're not alone. Oh my gosh, Jeff is like a guru when it comes to what he does, and because he knows so much, he would literally freeze before he posted something that was like a no-brainer. But because he wants to do such a great job, it actually, the smarter that you are, the more intelligent, and especially the more successful, the more that is going to get on your way. So we don't have any questions so far. Okay, let's keep moving. Oh, this is what I was gonna. Okay, so I want you to think, if you're able to talk, then go ahead and unmute yourself. If you're able to talk, then go ahead and unmute yourself and let me know, what is the one problem, without the story, without the commentary. Can one of you unmute yourselves and tell me what is the one problem without the story that you solve? Somebody? Mel, are you in a position to talk?
I'm eating. But so for me, the thing is just getting started on my social media stuff.
Okay, so social media. And then what is the one problem that you solve?
But the one problem I have, or the one problem I need to get solved?
No, what is so like, for instance, what the problem that I solve is that I help people release the stress of not being able to find clients consistently online so that they can get clients online and have more peace of mind. So the problem I solve is release the stress and frustration of not being able to get clients regularly and consistently. And then my solution is teaching them how to do social media marketing. So what problem do you solve for humans?
Oh, what do I solve for humans?
Uh-huh.
Okay. I help in a way, kind of like what you said. I help them with some of those same things, with stress and relieving stress and taking care of some of the problems. Okay. Oh, okay, maybe I'm misunderstanding. I don't understand. State your question again.
Okay, let's this is really crucial for all of you, right? If you don't know the problem that you're solving for one, you don't know one problem that you're solving, is going to be very hard for the algorithm to work for you. So I'll give you a perfect example. Before and even now, I will go in in the Bible, it talks about distracting mistress, right? The distracting mistress, that she will try to seduce you away from whatever it is. So social media is a seductive mistress, that it will try to seduce you and use you, or you can or you can be the seducer of the algorithm and make it work for you versus you working for it. So if you don't know the problem that you solve, the algorithm, the internet, will use you for leverage versus you leveraging the algorithm. So if you don't know the problem that you solve, so for instance, the problem I solve is that I help humans, I help business owners, especially women in their 50s, how to get rid of stress by finding a way to easily get clients online. So what problem do you solve?
I don't have an answer.
Okay, perfect. Let's go to Carlos. Do you have a problem that you solve?
Oh, we decide that we will work in the people that they are between the 50 and 60 and they don't have enough for their retirement.
Right. So the problem that you solve is that you help people in their 40s and 50s find a way to get more retirement income for retirement, right?
Yeah, that's what we are focusing on.
Yeah. And the reason I say 40s and 50s is because once you get into 60s, it's harder for technology. So you always want to focus on making it easier for you versus not. Not that there's anything wrong with that, Mel, but you actually, I got that from you today. I got that from a conversation that I had with you either today or yesterday. So let's go to Jeff. Jeff, are you in a position to talk? Jeffrey.
Yes, I am.
Okay. What is the problem that you solve?
For me,
Uh-huh.
the problem that I solve is that I can help people get a house, get out of debt by using the equity in their house, educating them on the benefits of owning a home compared to renting, etc.
Okay. So if you were to pick one or the other, because this is where we all, including myself, this is where we get in trouble and we work for the algorithm versus the algorithm working for us. If you were to choose helping people leverage their home to release debt, the stress over debt, or buying a home, because those are two different people.
I know exactly. So
which one would you choose?
I would say helping people get out of debt that have equity in their home would be the one.
Okay. And this is the reason for why we do this, by the way, because as you can see, the people that are trying to buy a house that are still renter mentality versus homeowners mentality, they're a whole different human versus someone that has a home that they can use it for equity to get rid of high interest debt. So if Jeffrey were to try to cater to both, the stories that he would be telling would be different than not. Jeffrey, can you, well, actually, let me see if I can go to your, I'm going to give you some examples. So when I give you some examples of what we did with Jeff, and we're going to be coming to his story in just a minute, is that when Jeff and I were looking at his social media, one of the things that I was shocked, completely shocked, was that he started posting on his social media very targeted information. And he had not been someone that was active. So what happened to him, to my shock, was that because he had not been posting, people thought that he had been hacked. Well, and by the way,
so true.
And here is the benefit. Okay, when some of you think, especially those of you who are going to be watching inside of my club later, when some of you say, oh, people with money are not on social media, oh, people, the millionaires that I want to work with are not on social media. Jeff Olson, if he's not already a billionaire, he's a multi. He fought the FTC and won. He is a most exceptional human. So Jeff Olson is one of my friends, and he is on social media. And guess what he does? He likes my stuff because we're friends, and he's a human. And just like you've heard of whether you like Elon Musk or not, whether you prefer him or not, he'll be affected by some of the things that people are saying about him on social media. Taylor Swift. Does anybody here know who Taylor Swift is?
Who's Taylor Swift?
Well, that's what happens, Jeffrey, when you've been.
Oh, wait a minute. She dates Travis Kelce, the football player.
Exactly. We all know Travis Kelce only because of Taylor Swift, not the other way around. So what I'm about to show you, as soon as my computer and Facebook catch up with me, is that Jeffrey had not really built up his page. So one of the things that we're going to be talking about is that in order for you to maximize your efforts, you got to maximize every single social media space. You know how dogs claim their territory? Well, you got to do the same thing as a human. You got to claim your territory as a human with the same picture across all profiles on all platforms. You got to tell the algorithm who you are, what you do to help. But most importantly, you got to put a picture of you versus your dog. And this is a true story. My best friend in the whole wide world, she has a dog picture and she's a mortgage broker. That doesn't benefit her as a mortgage broker. It's cute, but she's not trying to sell dogs. Does that make sense to everybody? So I want you to go look at your page right now and tell us what you have on your. So we also showed a beautiful background. So when people come here, they look at this and you're like, oh, this is nice, right? You want people to feel something. And look at this cool picture here. Winning the League Coach Gallery doing the Ice Bucket Challenge, right? So he's giving little stories about just life in general. Now this one, get the delivery best rub I've ever had. Well, you know, like Rafael, he likes cooking. This is just giving, it's called intimacy into me, you see. And by making little posts about just life in general, even though you may not have any comments, even though you may not have anything that gives any idea that people are watching you, I'm gonna let Jeffrey share the story with you guys. So right now, I want you to go grab a picture on your phone, and then grab a picture on your phone. Doesn't matter what it is. If it could be a picture, it's preferably if it has a picture of you, but it has to be a picture that you don't mind the public seeing, right? And then that you're not going to get in trouble with your spouse or your significant other or your mom or whatever, right? It's got to be a picture that it can be public. So I want you to think of a picture in your phone that you can utilize right now, and then also a simple thing about it. So like one of the things that we did with Jeffrey was that, for instance, Happy Easter. Doesn't take a genius, right? Happy Easter makes him human. And you always want to use a color background. If he just put Happy Easter without a color background, it would not land the same. So you always want to have very few letters. And then with this one of the things that I would just do differently is that I would add a picture of Jeffrey. So anytime that you're going to put a lot of information, you're going to add a picture of yourself so that people think of you when they think of that information, because it's psychologically speaking. You know, again, these are pictures that he just threw in there. Babe, happy 19th anniversary. This, believe it or not, gives the audience a million messages. Does everybody know what I'm talking about? Okay, so this one says that he's committed. He's a family man. He's a husband. He's a loyal person. He has a hot wife, right? So meaning that he must be doing something right to get a hottie, right? So there's all these things that are happening because he just said happy 19th anniversary. So there's so much that goes into just a couple of words that somebody says that gets into saying to the public, I'm a responsible man, I'm a father, I'm a husband, I'm a loyal human. So all these things by just simply posting. But now, and then he shows off his wife even more, right? So it's not all about him. He's bragging about her with just showing off a picture of her. So that says, wow, he must be thoughtful, mindful, and all. And we don't consciously think of these thoughts, but it's the thoughts that humans have in general, right? So who is willing to be a guinea pig to make a post? Not everybody looks scared. I told you that we were gonna help you get a couple of days worth of posting that will benefit you. Can we have different solutions in different social? No. That's a great question. So does anybody want to take me up on what to post for you to attract clients without talking about attracting clients? No?
We can do it.
Okay. So Carlos, let's go over to your Facebook. So let me address your question first. Can we have different solutions in different social medias or in different languages? No. So you want to be the same person on all social media platforms because they're all talking to each other, right? So if I go on Facebook and I'm looking at Carlos and everything is about how he helps 40 and 50 something year olds on building retirement, cash for retirement. But then I go to TikTok and he's talking in Spanish, right? Now you lost me because I'm not going to be able to keep watching you there because in one channel, you're one person, in another channel, I'm another person. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Then I go to Instagram and then you're promoting something completely different. Not even how to help people, how do people retire, but now you're talking about accounting, right? So then the person that is looking at the social media, they're confused as to they don't know where to place you or how to remember you, so they just won't remember you. They'll go to the next person that they're congruent, they're consistent. Does that make sense, Carlos?
Yes.
Okay.
That means I need
So,
to change all my Facebook and everything.
So all of your social medias should look the same. So all of the social media, so if you go to my Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, they all have the exact same picture. So when you go to my page, I mean, the cover page is different for because they have to be adaptable to each platform, but they all have my name, Maria Lupita, in Facebook because it's an older platform. Then they allow us to have our other names. And then everywhere I have is that I have what I do, generally speaking, and then different things that I share, right? Different things. Now, let me show you another reason why it's life saving. And this is totally a side note. When it comes to life saving, my friends that I've not seen them in years. You know, we used to work together, and we moved on in our lives. Oh, here's the gentleman that I was telling you about, Jeff Olson, a famous author around the world. He doesn't even promote his book, but his book is in high demand. It's been translated in so many different languages because it was about the compound effect, doing the mundane, doing the things that, oh, here's Jeffrey. And then I will tell you a story about Jeffrey in just a second. But one of the things that I want to show you is the power of this right here. And, you know, it's, if Dell and Vanessa Munger had not been on social media, they may not have been able to have what they needed at the most desperate time in their life. No parent should ever have to go through this, but unfortunately, life happens. So their 23-year-old went to get married in the Philippines because I believe Vanessa's from the Philippines, I think. So they go and they have this beautiful wedding, all these other things. And unfortunately, he has a tragic accident and passes away shortly after his wedding. Well, if anybody's here dealt with funerals are horrible because they are so expensive just in the United States. Now imagine having to bring your son, your 23-year-old son from another country. It's massively expensive. So you're dealing with mourning, you're dealing with bringing your son home, you're dealing with all these different things. So there was a group of us that quickly started sharing, raising funds so that their son could be brought home. Now, this is why I tell you it is life-saving. And I was able to be lucky enough that I have people in my BNI chapter, like Mike Rosenberg with Rosie's Feast, that he offered to bring them food for an entire week. If I didn't have this to be able to share it, probably I wouldn't have been able to easily share this with Rosie's Feast so that he could share this. And then I had another one of my friends, Alicia. Alicia has a housekeeping business. So she was also willing to volunteer to go and do housekeeping for them as well during this tragic time. Again, it can be very life-saving, but you have to be present in order for it to be life-saving. So let's go over to Carlos. So Carlos, number one, he has a fantastic picture. So he wants to make sure that that picture is all across everywhere. Now, I'm gonna give some feedback here. Although this is great for everyone who's Catholic or everyone who believes in the Pope, it's not really benefiting his business, right? Because it's not talking about his business. I'm not saying that he shouldn't do this, but you're running a business. Just like if you go to the Vatican in Italy, it is a massive business. I mean, you can only get to certain places if you pay the price. So you want to always think about how will other people see this when they come to my page. So number one, he did really great. Help people look better, feel better, and travel the world.
That was
right. But this is what you have right now, right? So one of the things that you want to do is that you want to grab a picture on your phone right now, and a picture on your phone, and then we're going to say something very, very simple that has been proven to work. And for those of you that are in my email, I have about 30 different posts that you can share if you are in the servicing places. And if you're not in the servicing places, then I can show you how you're going to make ChatGPT your best friend so that you can actually get the right post for your industry. So did you find a picture?
I'm working on.
Okay. And it doesn't have to be anything perfect. It could still be your level up picture. Any picture that has your face. Oh my goodness. So
Yeah,
you have it. Okay. So go ahead and grab that picture, and then you're gonna post something to the effect that is going to say, let me pull up some of my, I have a list of ones that I've already tested that have worked for the industry that that Dr. Carlos is in. This is what I would post, Carlos. I would put your picture, right? And I would post, let me know when you're ready.
Where you want to do that? In the cover picture?
No, you're gonna do a post.
Oh.
You're gonna make a post. You know what I'm talking about, that, right?
Okay.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I know that you want to make me post. Okay.
So you have the picture?
I have a picture of me.
Okay, so go ahead and go in where it says write something. So go ahead and start a post, and it's gonna say the following. Let me know when you're ready.
Yes.
You ready?
Yes.
Okay. Get paid
Okay.
to help people
Mhm.
Save money.
Okay.
Takes about 20 minutes a day. Period.
Mhm.
Can be done from anywhere. Period. Smiley face. Smiley emoji.
After the day, a few 20 minutes, 20 minutes away a day.
After takes 20 minutes a day. Period.
Mhm.
Can be done from anywhere. Period. Smiley emoji.
Okay. I play the picture too.
But we're not done yet. And then you're gonna say, this is a great way
Mhm.
to build extra cash
Okay.
for retirement. And then at the picture. And we're doing this with Carlos because his whole theme is about helping people get retirement, get extra cash for retirement. So the way that we leverage the algorithm versus the algorithm leveraging us is that we gotta say keywords that the algorithm will help Carlos versus Carlos just being another person that is consuming the algorithm. Does that make sense? And then let me know when you post it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So while he's doing that, I'm going to tell you a story about what happened with Jeffrey. Oh, nice. Like that picture. Great picture.
But I don't know why the post without the anything.
Well, because you made it into a cover picture.
Oh yeah.
So we don't want to make it into a cover picture. We just might want to make a post.
Okay.
So do you want to make a post?
Hey, going right now.
So so let me explain this. So when you want to change your cover page, you go to change your cover page. So if I wanted to change my cover page, I would go to the cover on Facebook, and then I would click here to change my cover page. But your cover page is not something that you want to consistently do because you want people to feel familiar with it, but you want to give them something that is going to make them feel something, or is going to make them feel that they know something about you versus always selling something. You can have it as to a directive as to what you offer, but it's better to make it more personalized. Okay. And then
I
let me know.
post already.
Okay, let me refresh.
Check if it's okay. Or if I need to adjust.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. So this is a beautiful picture. Get paid to help people save money. Takes about 20 minutes a day. Can be done from any place.
I change my what I put. Let me edit.
This is a great way to build extra cash for retirement, right? And it's a picture of him and his wife in a beautiful place. Perfect. So now, another thing that you always want to do when you're building social media presence is that you want to love on yourself. So if this was my own post, I would say ask your questions here. This is what I would say if it was my own post. So I'm always the first to comment, the first to share, and the first to like and love my own post. Because if you don't do that, then you're not gonna give a directive to people what to do whenever they're commenting. And I will almost always give a CTA, a call to action. So if we give a call to action, then I often say type the word passive. So then I will write the word passive, because then I'll know that that's the word that people are dropping for the call to action to get more information. Now, you don't want it to always be a sell or a promotion. So you want to season your social media like we've done with Jeffrey. So when we go to Jeffrey's page, we did a balance of both pictures of him and his kids and pictures of his family and pictures of his wife. So you want to have a blend so people don't feel that you're always selling them or promoting something. And you want to be active. And a lot of times people ask me, do I need to do it every single day? Yes, every single day that you want people to come to you and think of you, because you are like the reality TV for people that are watching you, believe it or not. So you want to have something. It doesn't have to be rocket scientist, but just as simple as Happy Easter, Happy Sunday, Happy Monday, Happy Wednesday, so does this make sense so far? Let me check in with everybody. Any questions? How about hashtags? Yes, Rafael, hashtags are definitely great. I normally do my hashtags over in the comments, and you want to limit your hashtags to maybe 3 or 5. Hashtags are, there's some people that are totally for hashtags. There's some people that are totally, that they don't make any sense. But yes, if you want to put hashtags, it is good to use hashtags. Hi, Natalie. Great to see you. It's good to put hashtags. I usually drop them in the comments so it doesn't make the post too cluttery. Does that make sense? Should we tag people on our posts? Rafael, that's another great question. So let me give you an example, and I'll give you an example of what Rafael is talking about. Rafael used to always be about giving to other people, which I was actually hurting him until he and I started working together. Rafael, are you in a position to talk? So number one that I praise Rafael is that he has a perfect picture. A little bit of décolleté, his face very clearly, and then a bright blue background. You always want to have a very bright background, because when you look at people, right? Look at who stands out here. Rafael stands out, I stand out, and then with Carlos, Dr. Carlos, his face is really tiny. It's a cool picture, but it's really tiny. So you always want to think about how people see you, and you want to have a bright background so it stands out. Okay. So one of the things that we did with Rafael is that we started doing a blend. Oh, look at them. They're both talking about the rub. That's cute. So you do want to tag people, because when you tag people, like you saw, one of my posts was in Dr. Carlos's page. So when you tag people, people have the choice. Man, that's making me hungry. People have the choice to let the tag go through or not let it go through, right? So right here, one of the things that Rafael does really good is that he is I have had his food. He's an incredible cook. So if he gives recipes and a picture of what he just cooked, that's enough to keep people coming back. So even if he never posted a picture of himself, never, but he just put pictures of food, I know someone that is making about $40,000 a month, $11,000 a week. He doesn't sell food, but he posts pictures literally of just beautiful food with the recipe. And he makes about $11,000 of something that is completely unrelated to food. Because every 5 posts that he makes, he'll throw what he promotes. So just like Rafael, and I'm going to show you, I hope that he didn't clean it up, because that's great. So he throws a little bit of what he does. What he does is called, it's very high level CRM, like CRM on steroids. So like if you want, and that's why I was trying to see if he was ready. So there's a lot of things that he does in addition to SEO, but now he has a very lethal way that you can have the best CRM, and it's lethal. This one is great because he's showing how he's going about cooking, and people love to see that stuff. Now, what you don't want to do is that you don't want to reshare somebody else's video, especially when it has the watermark, because there's nothing worse than that you can do to the algorithm than tell the algorithm that you're resharing. So that tells the algorithm you're too lazy to put original content. So the algorithm is going to work against you versus for you. And then let me show you an example. So before, what he would do is that he would do a reshare of Rosie's menu. Well, that worked for Rosie, but not for him, because the algorithm doesn't help him because he's just resharing. So it helps Rosie's, but it doesn't help him. So what we did with Rafael is that I said, take the picture of Rosie's and then make your own post. So now he has an original post, so it looks less clutter, it looks cleaner, it looks more professional, it looks like something I'm like, oh my gosh, look at that. And then I'm gonna be mesmerized, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, look at that food. And then before I know it, he's gonna pop me again with something else about stop losing leads. Right? We're talking food, and then he pops me with this. So this is something that we did, that I work with him. And Rafael, if you're able to drop in the comments, I want to make sure that that I'm saying what is accurate. I'll take that money. Let's go. So one of the things that he was doing before, let's see. Yes, it's accurate. Okay, perfect. So one of the things that you don't want to do is, let's see. Let me see. Wow, he's really. Let's see. You must have deleted all of them. Okay, so he used to reshare a lot, which actually works against your page. So don't reshare, post it as if it was a brand new post. And yes, you always want to tag people because it makes it better, because if they let it pass, then it's going to benefit you. And now I gotta keep on cracking. Okay, so do you have any questions about how do you go about posting content with the examples that we just did with Rafael and with Jeff and with Dr. Carlos?
I actually have a question.
Yes, Jeff.
So the post that he did on Rosie's, did he just get that from Rosie's Family Feast and just post it on his? So he took the picture, so I could help promote Rosie's.
Right. So you can actually save the picture that Rosie's has, and then write your own writing, or just copy the copy. And everybody knows what I'm talking about when I say copy, right? So just copy the copy and repost it with a couple of different words. An emoji is enough to make it different. And then you repost the post, not as a reshare, but as a brand new post. It was a picture they sent to us via text messages. Yeah. So when you do that, when you do that, what you're going to find is that you can promote other people. So then you do tag them. So then your name is also on their page. So then you're doing a double. You're doing double dipping. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So not only is now Rosie's on your page, but your name is also on Rosie's page and on Mike's page and on Christina's page, if you tag everybody. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. So let me I need to start moving faster because I just realized. Okay. So number one, you want to have a realistic goal, not an ideal goal, especially if you've never done social media marketing and you've never gotten clients from social media. Don't try to get 1,000 clients, right? Do a goal that is going to be realistic, not idealistic. Later on, you can put idealistic goals. So number one, if you, and I will be sharing all of this with you when, if you are in my emails, then I will be sending all of this. I'm going to play this for you because this is really short. If you really, really want to achieve your goals, everything that he says here, you're going to apply it to your social media presence. So if you want to get clients on social media, I believe this should be no more than 2 minutes, but let me make sure that that's accurate. So this is Brian Tracy. This is How to Get Rich by Brian Tracy, and the exact steps that you have to do in order to get there. And I rather share this with you than tell you as to how he does it. But you're gonna get a copy of this one too. Come on.
Take a clean sheet of paper and write down goals and today's date, and then write down 10 goals that you would like to accomplish.
Or not. So write down 10 goals that you would like to accomplish. And then once you write down the 10 goals that you want to accomplish, you're gonna look at the list and you're going to take a look to see what out of those 10 items, what would
in the next 12 months, and write them in the present tense. Almost like you're submitting an order. Just write that I earned, I achieve, I weigh, I drive such and such a car, I own. And then you take this list of 10.
Okay. For the
and you say, if I had a magic wand, I could wave this magic wand, and I could have any one goal on my list in 24 hours, which one goal would have the greatest positive impact on my life? And usually this will jump out at you. And that's the goal you transfer to a clean sheet of paper. And then you follow the 7 steps. Write it down, set a deadline, make a list of everything you have to do to accomplish it, organize things in a checklist, take action, and then do something every day. If you'll just do this simple exercise, then you'll all be rich. Nothing can stop you but yourself.
Okay. So I will send you this video, but there's 2 other videos that you also want to listen to, and I will send these videos to you because they're, these are definitely not some that you would listen to here. But one of them is the podcast. It's a nearly 4-hour podcast by Naval, and this has over 9 million views. So that should give you a clue as to how to get rich, all the things that you have to do in order to get rich. And it's a very powerful podcast that if you listen to it. So what I do is that I listen to it when I'm hiking. I take very long showers, so I have a speaker in my shower. So whenever I'm not able to be working, I listen to it in pockets of my time. And it is something that some people, this is such a powerful podcast on how to be, basically how to be successful at what you're doing, that there's some people that actually make it a requirement before they actually start working with that particular people. And then lastly, if you want to do effective marketing versus marketing that is going to be about the seductive marketing is. So a lot of marketing is based on go viral, do all these things that the majority of people are not going to do. The majority of people are not going to do skits. The majority of people are not going to be, Dr. Carlos is the exception, but it took him several years, right? Carlos is now he's like a pro making videos, but the majority of people are not going to be making videos right off the bat. So Seth Godin tells you how to market where you are marketing for impact. Not for likes, not for this, not for that. So I will show you today how you can go doing that by just the same things that I showed you with Jeffrey, and the same things that I showed you with Jeffrey and with Carlos and with Rafael. So as you saw, none of them that you saw today, none of them have done a video about anything. It's just a picture. And it doesn't matter if it's a picture from 20 years ago. It's just as long as it's a picture. And it could be just pictures of something that like for instance, with you, Lisa, it could be about working out. It could be about beaches. It could be about your girlfriends. It could be about it, but it's just got to have a theme. Does that make sense? Okay. So now that you have your short-term goal, you want to have a vision for your long-term goal. So if your vision is that, how many clients did you say you wanted to have, realistically speaking, from social media? How about hashes? Remind me how many? I think 2, 3 or something. This
Are you talking to me?
Yes.
Okay, I was like, I think she's talking to me.
Yes. Yes. I am.
I put 2 bookkeeping clients and 5 tax advisory clients.
Okay. So with you, I would say the same thing. I would pick one lane, and I'm gonna give you a disclaimer for all of who are like panicking, like, oh my gosh, she doesn't want me to have everybody. What happens is that when you attract just keeping or tax people, then the algorithm is gonna work with you versus you working for the versus you being an asset to the algorithm. When, let's say, which one is easier for you to get, bookkeeping or the tax?
I mean, tax preparation's the easiest, those that need to prepare returns. I feel that with that, there's tax strategies, so I would say the taxes are easier to get. I mean, it's kind of depends.
Well, you want to pick something that you enjoy doing, that you like doing, and that you would do no matter what, right? Because you're going to be posting about it all the time. So
I think I would probably focus on bookkeeping because they're harder clients to get. When I can get the tax clients outside of social media, I think that's more of a faster growing pace than the bookkeeping. So I would say bookkeeping.
So bookkeeping will actually help you tremendously because it's very comprehensible. So when people see you promoting bookkeeping, then people will think of you and will identify you on that. And here's the additional benefit of that is that once you start posting about bookkeeping, and then well, I'll tell you that in a minute. Once you start posting about bookkeeping, the beautiful thing is that the algorithm will start identifying you as a bookkeeper and will start sending people to bookkeeping. And the more that you do bookkeeping, then you're going to have a conversation, but they're like, well, do you do anything else? Well, I don't have bookkeeping, but would you help me with this? I don't have this, but will you help me with that? So when I tell Jeffrey, focus on just the helping people get out of debt through their mortgage, it doesn't mean that he's not going to help someone that wants to just buy a house. It doesn't mean that he's not going to do all the other things. When Carlos is helping people in their 40s and 50s build a retirement plan, that doesn't mean that if a teenager comes to him and says, hey, I don't want to go get a job, I don't want to go to college, I just want to make money online, that Carlos is going to be like, well, you're not 50 years old, I can't help you, right? It doesn't mean that, but it just means that you're going to use the algorithm to your favor by just focusing on one thing. So you want to have a long-term plan with a vision so that it can be benefiting from all of the algorithm versus the algorithm benefiting from you being there. The next thing is that once you learn to do this, you just rinse and repeat over and over and over again. But you focus on making an impact on people versus views, comments, and likes. So a lot of times, like, let me see, I think, did I go there already? Rinse and repeat. Okay, this is another thing that is really, really important. Whether it's me or someone else, if you are not looking, if you don't have someone else looking at your stuff, you're going to miss the mark. You need to have someone that is a coach, a mentor, a guide, someone that is going to be supportive on your social media journey, because it's just like numbers, right? It's just like taxes. Somebody else needs to, dot all your I's and cross all your T's. Is that how you say it? Okay. So when it comes to social media, we might miss it, right? We might miss it. And there's times that people put so many political stuff. Oh my God, you couldn't be more detrimental to your page. Because immediately you cut 50% of the population. So you want to make sure that when you're posting anything, it has to be about your business or about, like, Rafael. Rafael is all about food. That's a perfect thing because that's universal. Anybody understands it. So how do you launch how do you launch your business? By having 3 days of posting, right? Just like I showed you with Carlos, just like I showed you what we did with Jeff, and then like what we did with Rafael. If you want help today, then because we're running later, I'm going to give you in the next 48 hours, you are welcome to book a free session with me. And because I thought that we're just running really behind. So I will give you a 30-minute session so that you can actually book 3 days of content with me that are going to be exactly customizable to you. So once you do everything that we've been talking about, then you got to get your profiles right, which we talked about, and we already went over that. And then this is what everybody gets tripped up on. Let me see, hang on 1 second. Is anybody concerned about what your loved ones might say? Maybe your spouse, maybe your best friend, maybe your significant other, maybe your children. Is anybody concerned about what other people might say about you? Nobody. Wow. You guys are a unique group. So a lot of people will not post on, well, actually, Jeffrey, I don't know if Jeffrey's still here, but Jeffrey actually got calls from people that they thought that he had been hacked, right? And there's some people that I think, actually, I could be remembering this wrong, Jeffrey, but correct me if I'm wrong. I think some people actually even mocked him because some of the posts. So what that means is that people are watching his stuff, which is a good thing, right? So if you're afraid of people mocking you or shaming you or whatever, be quick to block or hide. You can actually make posts on social media that you hide from certain people, that certain people will not see, so that you don't have to block, or you can just block straight up. And then there's always that you can go and reinvent yourself on Instagram or on TikTok. So if you're afraid of what people might say, then you just simply go and you start a brand new thing and you hide yourself over on TikTok, which is one of the best places to do it, or on Instagram, which you can do the same. On Facebook, you can't really do that because it looks weird, but on Instagram and Facebook, you can do it very, very easily. And then how do you maximize this? You maximize it by having the exact same profile on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, on every social media platform. It's gotta have the same name, same profile picture, maximizing everything that we talked about tonight. And then how do you go about sharing? Come on. How do you go about sharing on social media? Well, like for instance, Lisa, can you unmute yourself for a second? Okay. What is it that you could share about bookkeeping that everybody should know that they don't know?
Here's a fun fact that ties into both. In 2024, 20 million people filed tax extensions because they did not have sufficient financials ready to file their taxes. So that means lack of bookkeeping or lack of financials due to not having proper financials.
Exactly, right? So if they had you, they wouldn't have to do that, right? So just something like that, fun fact, right? And then a picture of you. That's all you would need. You share a tiny piece of your knowledge, or if you don't have any knowledge, right? Let's say that you go to the computer, you go to your phone. It's always better to do it on your phone, by the way, because there's features that are on your phone, on your app, that are not on the computer. And you always have your phone, so it's a lot easier not to make excuses as to why you haven't posted. So you should post once a day, every day, about your business, and once a day, every day, about your personal life. So you would throw a picture, just like we did a picture with Carlos, of you and your kids, you and your family, or you hiking, or like Rafael, pictures of food, and then throw the fun fact, right? And that's how you share your knowledge. And then you always want to have a blend of seasoning with personalized posts, like I showed you with Carlos, I showed you with Rafael, I showed you with Jeffrey. And then the copy and paste method. So what I did with Carlos, the post that I gave him, I actually have 20 of those, 30 of those, that you literally just take them, you paste them, and you post them, and then you throw a picture. Now, you can also do it to where it's just the Happy Easter with the color background, and that's literally all you post. So you could literally just have all of that, and then once a week you throw in a picture. So if you're so afraid of what people might say, or you say, I've never taken a picture with my phone ever, and I refuse to take any pictures of life, if you're a human like that, then you just simply copy something that is working, you paste it to a post on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok, and you hit post. And that's as simple as this method is. As we've talked about this already. So people don't realize that TikTok actually changed everything. Before, it was necessary to pay to play. It wasn't really realistic for us to build businesses without having to have a following, without having to have all of what I'm talking about. Today, you don't need to be an influencer. You don't need to have a big following, and you definitely don't need to dance on TikTok. But like I share with you everything that happened with Jeffrey. Jeffrey started posting not perfectly, but as best as he could, as best as he was willing. And in spite of the fact that I didn't think that in mortgage is hard, because not everybody needs a mortgage every single month, right? Everybody needs bookkeeping every month. Everybody needs to take care of their taxes every single month. Everybody needs to start taking care of their your thing, Carlos, securing their retirement. But when it came to Jeffrey, it was hard because he offers mortgages. Well, guess what? He ended up getting a client call from just posting. And it wasn't perfect. It wasn't anything fancy. It was like literally doing the copy paste post method. So if you can copy paste post, you can actually get clients for free without ever spending time. And this also because TikTok changed everything when it came to marketing for us to be able to get clients. So the question is that I asked you earlier is, don't you think you could get a handful of clients out of 5 billion clients, 5 billion humans that are on social media? Well, I can tell you myself that you absolutely can. Now, if you do all of this, but you don't have a way, you don't have Rafael to show you how to have killer CRM, on how to have notes and everything else. If you don't have a Rafael, you need to have a way to keep track of your follow-ups. This is an old school tickler system, follow-up system that I'll send to you if you want it. But it's just basically you write notes on a card, and then you just put them on the day of the month, and then you keep following up and following up. If you don't have a way to follow up, you're going to do all of this, and then you're going to end up nowhere, because you're not going to be following up on what you need. And then if you don't have a daily method of operation, we're going to touch into this now. If you don't have a daily method of operation, you're going to try to reinvent the wheel. And if you don't have someone that is coaching you, guiding you, and supporting you along the way, you're going to have what happened to Jeffrey. Jeffrey, do you mind sharing real quick what happened when you would go to your phone or your computer and try to post and you got in your head?
Yeah, and so I just thought about it too much, and I think like everybody else here is you don't know what to say or how it will be, what to post that would be meaningful or anything like that, and then you just overthink it, and it's really not that hard when you really basic down to just posting little things and stuff like this, because you're afraid you're going to offend somebody or somebody's going to make a comment, but what does it really matter?
And that's exactly when it comes to having that unconscious and conscious competence. When you're trying to build something and you're trying to come from an unconscious incompetence, you're second guessing everything. So working with a coach, a mentor, a support system, it allows you to be able to have that support that Jeffrey had in order for him to get out of his head and into his heart. Because I don't know if you realize it. Imagine a family that is struggling because they have so much credit card debt or so much high interest debt that they're like, we don't know how to get out of here. And they're not in a place where they can actually file bankruptcy or they can get into bad credit. But they don't know that this exists. So if you're not in your heart that you are serving people by sharing what you know, you're doing a massive disservice by not making that impact by posting that knowledge. Does that make sense? So the next thing is that we are going to see the benefits of compound in residual clients and passive clients, and it all happens for free without you ever spending a dime on getting clients. And they come to you and they raise their hand, like my friend who called me after 3 years of watching me, right? And anyone can do. Okay, I want to see if you're not able to be on camera, then drop it in the comments. Would you agree that you would be able, if you're here, then give me a thumbs up. Can you copy, paste, post? Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So if you can copy, paste, post, then you can do this. Anyone can do it. Okay, Natalie can do this. Kevin can do this. Perfect. And let me see. Kevin, I would not be able to expose my business to some due to my job. Okay, you make a great point, Kevin. Okay, so some of you are not, some people are military, some people are transitioning from being an employee to transition into their own deal. So if you're in a position where you cannot be public, go over to TikTok. Go over to TikTok. And you can be whoever you want, and you can block everybody. So never allow your phone to bring all of your contacts into whatever platform. Every platform wants to like snag everybody from your phone, right? They want the rights to your contacts. Never give access to that, because that messes up your algorithm. So when you are in a position like Kevin, which a lot of people are, then simply go and either start posting on Facebook groups, and I'm going to be giving you 200 Facebook groups that you can post about whatever it is that you want to comment about. And like, for instance, with Lisa could literally find 5 Facebook groups that are people that are literally looking for her. Like literally saying, I need a bookkeeper. I need a bookkeeper. But she's not there, right? So we can't recommend her because she's not there. And then she's not consistently posting every day about little tips about being able to remember. So it's very crucial. And that's a great idea. Great to know. I don't have TikTok. So some people are, again, everybody's a human. And everybody has an opinion. So if you loathe or hate or you're against TikTok, then you can do it on Instagram. If you loathe or hate Instagram, then you can have a conversation with me and I can show you and I can help you how to get there. But there is always a solution. If there is a will and there is something that you are willing to be coachable, then there is a way that you can make this work for you, because it works for thousands and thousands of us. But what happens is just like what Jeffrey was saying, and listen, there's people that are digital marketers that are experts, like Rafael that is here on this call. Rafael is an expert, but he's an expert in like the techie stuff, right? He's an expert in like the really geniusy in your head kind of stuff. Like if you need a killer website, if you need all the SEO, if you need people just calling on your phone, then he's your guy. I don't do that stuff. But I do the social media girly stuff that I make you be found and be discoverable, and people hand you their credit card because they're seeing you on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or all of them, or YouTube. YouTube is the long game, by the way. So if you don't have the support, if you don't have the coaching and the mentorship, this is when people get in their head and they don't do it, or they do it, but they don't keep doing it. So having a mentor, a coach, a support system, and especially a community gets the stress out of you trying to figure things out and ends the frustration of not knowing what to post. And it helps people seeing you as a person on social media and not paying the price that if you're not showing up as a person on social media, you're literally sending people to your competitors. So like, for instance, Lisa, as a bookkeeper and a tax expert, because her name is associated with that, when people go look for her, and if she's not posting about it, she's literally sending people to her competitors because the algorithm is doing that. Okay, so all of this if you don't have a coach, a mentor, a support system, and especially a community, you're going to feel stuck. You're going to feel that you are not needing the support. You're going to feel that you are lacking ideas, even though you're an expert on what you do. So how do you go about sticking to this and doing it on a daily basis? Number one, you can do this in as little, literally in as little as 10 to 20 minutes a day. So if you make ChatGPT your best friend and you educate ChatGPT as to how to comment, how to post for you. So because I like copy and English is my second language, what I train ChatGPT is that I use Russell Brunson, Dan Kennedy, Bill Glazer, and Seth Godin as my copy core 4. So I said, write this in how my core 4 would write it. So for Lisa, she would find, if she loves her voice and how she copies, then she would just say, ask me 20 questions as to how I would write 20 posts, 20 short posts with color background on Facebook or on Instagram. Now, another thing that I think I've neglected to say to you, I don't know, I may have neglected this. You gotta pick just one platform. I know that's against what a lot of people might tell you, but if you're trying to be omnipresent, present all the time, you're going to hit nothing. So what you want to do is that you want to have omnipresence, but not be omnipresent. You want to go and claim every single social media platform, including LinkedIn. But once you have it all set up with the way that I showed you how to do your profiles, then the next thing that you want to do is pick one platform. Now, how do you pick the platform? Is the platform, Carlos, what platform do you spend your most amount of time in?
Lately, TikTok, because
Okay.
we are doing that with you.
Yes, but before TikTok, where were you spending most of your time?
Facebook and LinkedIn.
Okay, so LinkedIn, just so you know, a lot of people get confused. People go to be fished on LinkedIn, people that are looking for a job or people that are looking to transition, or people go fishing on LinkedIn. But people are not really scrolling and wasting time on LinkedIn, right? So you want to pick a platform where people are just scrolling for time. And is created in that sense. So if Carlos was not in the path that he is with me, then I would recommend that he stick to just Facebook. But he's gotten so freaking good at making videos, like so flipping good, that's what we send him over to TikTok, because he's gotten really good. But if he was not in that space, that he was not willing to make videos, then we would keep him on Facebook, just doing the same thing that we did with Jeff and the same thing that we did with Rafael. Make sense? So only pick one platform, and the platform that you are already using, the platform that you're already leveraging. Mel, you had a great question. I only use the free one because that's all that is necessary to do what you need to do to everything that I do is pretty much everything is free. Okay, so one of the things that you want to do is that you want to understand that you becoming a content creator of whatever it is that you do, that makes you officially a content creator. And what content creators do is that you automatically become eligible to write about $10,000 off your taxes. I'm not a tax expert, but we have one tax. Oh, look at that. What a cutie. So just by you becoming, oh my goodness. Hi, kitty. Just by you becoming a content creator of your own expertise, you have a minimum of at least $10,000 in write-offs. So that right there should be a no-brainer for you to start posting on social media. Then you want to make sure that you choose one offer, one transformation. If you choose, I want to help people get rid of their heart issues and at the same time help them make money. That's why a lot of people that are in multi-level marketing, network marketing, the algorithm doesn't help them because they're going in two opposing directions. So it's not, one transformation is not the same. So you got to pick one lane for every single one offer. And then you got to pick one ideal client. And how do you go about choosing with the one ideal client? You got to go through the 6 P's. Can everybody see this list of 6 P's? Give me a thumbs up. Okay, so the 6 pieces, like we talked about, you got to pick the pain that you're solving, the problem that you're solving. With me is that it pains me when I see people that are not on social media. It pained me when I knew that Jeffrey was not leveraging his social media. It pained me that Rafael knew so much about social media and digital marketing, but he was not leveraging, he was actually hurting himself. So you got to pick the pain, and then you got to pick the promise, the transformation that you're going to give to people. Like, for instance, Lisa, she's going to give peace of mind, right? All these people are frazzled. They don't know what to write off. They don't know what to do. You're just going to be like, I got you, right? So you got to paint the promise. And then you got to pick the person. Who is the person that you're going to help? Right? And at this time, if you know the problem, you know the promise, now you can talk about the person. And that's when we talk about Dr. Carlos. Dr. Carlos is going after 40s and 50-year-olds because to work with the 60-year-olds is going to be more work for Carlos. So then we go for the 40s and 50s because they're going to be more easier to work with. And then you got to have some proof. Like along the way, I've shown you how Rafael, Carlos, Hilda, and many others have had success. So if you are starting out and you don't have stories, then use other people's stories that have had success in the path that you're in. And then you got to show them the path. Throughout this call, would you agree that I've shown you the path on how to do your social media marketing? Would you agree? Okay, perfect. Thank you. And if you don't agree, please drop it in the comments because I would love to know if I left you out in some way. And then the last one is that you have to paint the picture. You have to paint the picture of how Lisa makes people feel after they work with her. And they just show up and they're like, I'm done. Like, I just told Lisa, like, click that little button that you have and it's all, boom, it's all done, right? Carlos is like, now people have peace of mind knowing that they're going to have money at the end of their working life, right? And maybe sooner. You have to optimize all of your social media platforms so that every single profile looks like the same, that person that you are, not different languages, not different offers, but everywhere. And then you gotta make sure that you are being discoverable. If you are not using the copy paste method and you don't have a personal Facebook page and you're not leveraging Facebook groups, then you're literally leaving money on the table. But if you want to build it on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, or some of the others, then you just reach out to me. And then, like I said, for the next 48 hours, I will help you help you choose what platform is best for you because we're running out of time. I will show you how to do that. And then the other part is that you gotta choose the 5x5 method. If you don't have a way for you to do your daily method of operation, does everybody know what the DMO stands for? Daily method of operation? Well, I just told you. So you need to have a daily method of operation. If you don't have a daily method of operation, you're gonna keep throwing spaghetti at the wall, seeing that it's not sticking. And because it's not sticking, you're like, this doesn't work. And then you stop doing it, right? So you got to have a daily method of operation in order for this to be able to work. If you don't do this, it will not work. It's like guaranteed that it will not work, okay? Number 7, and this is, I added this as a number because if you don't have this as a number, you're going to forget to do this. And I should break this into 2. I should break this into 3. Number 7, actually, I'm going to do it right now. Number 7, you have to absolutely always give a call to action, whether it's comment or you have to say something in order for you to maximize your posting. But if you don't do that, people are not going to know what to do on your post. So you're not going to have engagement. You're not going to have likes. You're not going to have following. You're not going to have all the things that you're seeking to have. So you always have to have a CTA, a call to action. And it doesn't always mean come buy my stuff. It can mean, you know, engagement pictures. Like sometimes I'll post something that is like, people will be like nasty. Like, I cannot believe, like when I posted about my friend and I wanted to brag about my friend, Mike Rosenberg with his Rosie's Feast, that they provide meals, you know, for families for a fee, but it's like life-saving. And I was given a public thank you. I was criticized because I put, if you ever need someone, or if you ever want to send a meal to someone, you know, reach out to my buddy Mike. So that was a call CTA, not to benefit me, but to benefit Mike. And then you want to automate. You want to build a way to have a capture page so that you can send email newsletters and email campaigns so that you can constantly be dripping on the people that you're building relationships with. You want to take everybody that you know in networking events and business cards and social media, everywhere and anywhere. You want to take them from everywhere into an email list so that you can send them drip campaigns and also newsletter on a consistent basis. So if you don't do that, you're going to still not be effective, because you're just using you're using social media, but you're not leveraging to the full capacity. And then you want to automate all of this so that you're not always having to reinvent the wheel every day. Okay, so this is the 5x5 method. Has been proven to work for decades. So this is the number one thing you have to do first. Do 5 VIPs on social media. So number one, do a value post, VIP, valuable post, a post about your offer or a valuable post about your life. Make sense? So like, for instance, a valuable post for Jeff would be, if you, one of my friends, if you are paying 29% interest on your car and you own a home, we need to talk because you're overpaying on the interest on your car. Wouldn't that be life-saving and valuable for someone to know that if they're paying? Because I just talked to somebody, my buddy just got his car repo, and because of what's going on in his life, he's paying 29% on his car loan. Insane, right? So you want to put valuable posts. Another valuable post would be like the post about him and his wife. It's a valuable post about loyalty, marriage, family, and all of that. An impact post about your offer or your personal life. An impact post is like Carlos talking about what it's like to be nearly 60s and to not have a retirement plan. That's a personal post, but also about his offer, right? And then you want to talk about the person that you're serving. You want to talk about the path that you're providing. You want to talk about all the P's that we talked about on the 6 P's, on the VIPs. So whenever you're making posts, you want to use the VIP and make 5 of those posts. So whether it's a video, whether it's a post on a Facebook group. So what I normally recommend is make 3 posts on your ideal platform, and then 2 posts on a Facebook group if you are able to leverage Facebook, because Facebook groups are truly a money making. Then you want to make 5 new connections on whatever platform you are on, because it's just like if you go to a networking event and you stay on a corner and you don't talk to anybody, or you just talk to your person that you went there, you might as well show up, right? So if you're showing up social media, it's just like showing up to a networking event. You want to make 5 new contacts every day, and then you want to add your new contacts over to a follow-up system so that they don't just get neglected over there. And you want to just not make contacts with people that are never going to be your clients. You want to make contacts with people that could be a referral source, a power partner, power referral source, or someone that could actually be your client. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay. you want to send out 5 invites about what you offer at projects. So let's say, for instance, Mel, are you focusing more on helping people make money online, or getting healthy, or losing weight, or what is your main focus?
Being healthy.
Okay. And what of all the things to be healthy about, what is the main thing about being healthy? Is it losing weight, heart issues, diabetes? What is the main thing about being healthy? Because being healthy has a gazillion things.
Yeah, what I'm doing, it works on everything, so everybody's different. But like for me, sleep, it was the first thing I noticed.
Okay, so let's go with sleep, right? So because there's a gazillion things, and if you don't pick one, it's just like you're trying to date everybody. Insomnia, exactly. Ignore the haters, exactly. So you want to pick insomnia and sleep, because then the algorithm will benefit you. That would be really, really important. So if you go and you search for insomnia, and then you see someone that posted something about insomnia, let's say that you go on Facebook, and then you go to a Facebook, you find 5 Facebook groups. If you're going to be building on Facebook, you find 5 Facebook groups, and you would go there, and you search for insomnia or the word sleep, and you find a post that is like, it's 3 a.m, I still can't sleep. Mel, what would you tell that person as to how you could help them?
Let's talk about our stuff, are we? I don't know. The product I have is basically it helped me sleep after a month's worth of using. I used it for a month. No, went from 5 hours to 8 hours. And now I use an alarm to wake up. So that's the gist of what I'm telling them.
Okay,
It
so
works.
then
It
so
works
then
for everybody.
Mel and I have this fascinating relationship. So Mel, what the comment would sound like for you? It would sound something like, I used to feel the same. The feel, felt, and found. I used to feel the same way. I used to only sleep 5 hours a day. I mean, 5 hours a night, and I was suffering. That's a serious problem people have. Yeah, exactly. And I started taking this one supplement, and now it took 30 days, but you're giving them the path, you're giving them how it works, you're giving them all the stuff, right? So if you do that 5 times, then eventually you're going to be able to have enough seeds, scatter, that you're going to have clients coming to you saying, I want what you have. But if you just say do that for 1 week and then you stop, it doesn't work. Make sense? It doesn't make sense? Okay, now the other thing is that you can also use the ATM system. Most of you have no idea what I'm talking about, the ATM system, but it's like the ATM, like a cash machine that leads into an MBA, a massive bank account. So you can have everything, all of your people be going into an area. So either a Facebook group or an email list, which I don't suggest, or a community like the one that I'm going to show you today. So you want to send everybody to one place or a chat, and then there you start cultivating relationships and building relationships. So that's called an ATM system. So you send people to a community so that they can get cultivated relationships. And then as you grow this, you want to send 5 messages, whether it's 5 texts. I'm sorry, 5 messages via DM. So I'm going to tell you a couple of brief stories. And who here would like to meet a billionaire? Okay. Is Arlisa and I the only ones? Okay, perfect. Okay. So I don't know if anybody knows who Sara Blakely is. She's a self-made billionaire. She's the founder of Spanx, the shapewear. And for the longest time, I had her on my vision board, and I wanted to meet her one day. I didn't I didn't know when, but I wanted to meet her. So I sent a DM to her husband, who is a multi-millionaire. And I sent him a DM on Instagram, and he offered to coach me for an entire year. And because he coached me for an entire year, I volunteer at his first gig of public speaking. I volunteered to fly to Atlanta and be a volunteer. And then I got to meet his wife, who is Sarah Blakely. And I got to like have a picture with her and chit chat with her. So it was super incredible. That was from a DM. So if you think that your special clients are not on social media, they are. Now I have a friend who became a celebrity, a reality TV celebrity himself, because he reached out to an established reality TV celebrity. And he sent a DM and he says, hey, I'm a contractor and it looks like you could benefit. And these are the things that I saw that your contractor didn't do. And I would love to have a chat with you about what I could help with. They started connecting, and now he's a reality TV celebrity because he sent a DM on Facebook. So do DMs on social media work? Absolutely. Does it have any borders? No. You have to be, you can't say, hey girl, want to get my stuff, right? Hey, you have to be a real caring person and think through what you're going to say and take a moment, right? Before I met with Lisa, I went and I did my homework. I spent 20 minutes learning about how to be more effective with her, how to be a better asset, how to be of more value to her. When I met with Craig today, the same thing. So you want to be valuable. You want to be the most valuable. And this is another one for you. You always want to have you want to be the MVP and the MVC. And I don't think I have these on my stuff. Oh yeah, I do have it later. So we'll talk about this, but the MVP is the most valuable post on social media. That when people see your post, they're like, oh man, Lisa, she's the bomb. Like, have you seen her content today? You got to go to her page. And then the most valuable comments. Oh, did you see what Mel said about his sleep? Oh my gosh. And then did you see what those 5 people, they started taking whatever, his stickers, and now they are like sleeping all the time through the night. Okay. And then you want to do whatever presentation you have, whether it's a one-to-one or a video or whatever it is, you want to send out your presentation. And that means that you have to do a one-to-one. So for me, I have a video that I send. So you want to send 5 video presentations on a regular, consistent basis. So that is the 5-to-5 method, the 5-to-5 system that helps you stay consistent so that you don't miss by just trying to figure it out on your own. So just imagine for a second, right? Imagine if every time you started copying, pasting, posting, that you will start building the know, like, and trust factors. Every single time you're building, just like doubling a penny, you're doubling trust, you're doubling like, and you're doubling trust factor. And the more that you do it, the more that you grow, the more that you're going to attract people, and they're going to be handing you their credit cards on hand because they feel like they know you, like you, and trust you without you even being there. 1 second. Now, the one thing that a lot of people do wrong is that people are not posting the right kind of postings, and they're not choosing one client, right? So Carlos, because he's new to this, he started posting about fundraising, which is also another thing that he does. Well, now the algorithm is not working for him. He's working for the algorithm, but not the other way around. So you want to make sure that you stick to one problem that you solve, one person that you help, in order for you to leverage the algorithm. Now, this doesn't happen overnight, but it will happen. I mean, for Jeffrey, it happened really fast, faster than I've seen it with anybody in his industry. But it happens slowly, it happens quickly. And this little video, hopefully you'll be able to see it because I think it's pretty cool to show if it plays. But basically, sometimes it happens quickly, sometimes it happens slowly, but it will materialize and it will get you clients if you keep posting on a consistent basis. Just like that, the cup that you're filling for people, all of a sudden they feel like they know you, like you, and trust you. Just like my friend, when she reached out to me, she already felt like she had been talking to me all this time because she had been consuming my content. What? My as some of you can see, my Canva is out of sequence. And it's like moving really slowly. See. Come on. Well, while Canva is catching up with me, any questions, thoughts, feedback that you have for me so far? No? Okay. So the benefits of having a coach, having a community, and having a support system is that you will increase your chances of success by 95% if you have a support system. So imagine what having 5, 10, 20 new clients by just simply copying, pasting, and posting content that is very simple as just going to ChatGPT or saying what's in your head in very simple ways so that you can be top of mind for the people that are looking for you. So imagine this. Imagine if every post, especially for all of you, for a lot of you who are independent business owners, imagine if every post was an employee that is working for you 24/7. That's exactly what the posts are doing for you. They're going there, networking for you, working on your behalf, doing all the things that you need to have without you ever being present. You just show up present when you do it. And then yesterday or some other day, somebody asked me, when do you post? Post when it's convenient for you that you're gonna stick to it. If you follow all the gurus as to when is the best time, but you're not available at that time, it's gonna backfire. So it's not gonna happen for you. So one of the things that I was going to do for you was to give you 7 days of personalized content, but because we're running out of time, then I'm gonna give you a link that you can, that in the next 48, you do have to do it in the next 48 hours. You have to make the appointment in the next 48 hours. So I'll give you a free 30-minute session so that you can have the 7 days of personalized content. And then the other thing is that we're also going to go over your social media strategic review so that you don't end up having all these different people in all these different social media platforms that are not going to be benefiting you. Now, we talked about the DMO. Okay, habit stacking. And habit stacking is that if you don't do everything that I'm talking about tonight, and you try to just do it and start it all on your own at whatever you think is best, it will not work. Jeff, are you able to talk still? Kevin.
Yes.
What is Kevin, what is NATM? Jeff, can you talk about our habit stacking, or do you remember how we talked about how we worked out your habit stacking?
Yes, that you should do it at the same time every morning when you get up, and have the habit of checking your social media, posting something, and being on a consistent basis. Do some personal and then something business.
Yes. So
And I'm
with
not
Jeff,
following it to the T, but I'm doing stuff.
but with Jeff, he has this ritual that he gets up, he goes down, goes down to get his coffee, takes care of his breakfast with his kids, and then he goes to his computer, right? And then after he goes to his computer, he goes and take his kids, and then he has a couple of minutes in the parking lot. So we figured that the habit stacking could happen when he comes first to his computer, or when he is just delivering his kids to school, and then he can go over to the parking lot. So you want to do it at a time that is consistently every single day, that you're already doing something else. Like for instance, I do 10 extra push-ups every single month. So right now this month I'm at, what is that, Carlos? So I started doing push-ups, right? Standing push-ups. So I get up, I do my little routine. I go turn on my coffee, and then I turn over and I start doing 10 push-ups. That's habit stacking. I'm adding a habit because I don't want to get on the floor and then just go start doing push-ups. So I did it on something that I already want to do, which is getting my coffee. So now I'm doing push-ups to stack my habits. Make sense? So you want to find something that is going to help you in adding a habit to the new idea. And then we talked about the 6 P's. We talked about the 5x5, and now we're going to talk about why you want to be the most valuable post, the most valuable person on your social media. Because if you're not putting any thought to impacting the person, like for you, Mel, there's people that are seriously suffering because you're not telling them about the benefit of sleeping, right? And it is your job to be the most valuable poster on posting about your offer, but you're doing a massive disservice. Now, if you're posting, but you're not going to other people's pages, other people's groups, other people's TikToks, and commenting in the comments, not being what is it called? You don't want to be icky and start selling in the comments, right? And you don't want to be icky and start selling on the post, but you want to be impactful in making valuable posts, and that's the most valuable post and the most valuable comments. Does that make sense to everybody? And then do you all feel that you could do that? Okay. And then we did talk about Brian Tracy, how to go. Did everybody understand what Brian Tracy explained? No, Lisa? You're saying no?
Was difficult
Okay.
to understand.
Okay, so and I'll send all of that to all of you. So Brian Tracy said, write down your top 10 goals. Write down your top 10 goals. So instead of writing your top 10 goals, write down your top 3 goals right now. So take a minute. We'll do 60 seconds. And don't think through it too much. Just write your top 3, and if you can write your top 10, then even better. Okay, so go ahead and write your top 3 or top 10 goals. Okay, we're at a minute. Lisa, would you mind sharing what your top 3 goals or top 10 goals are?
I put 4, or kind of, yeah, I said, well, one was broad and then I rewrote it. So it was get more clients to build my business. And then the
Okay.
other one was make 100K by the end of the year, since I just started. Have 6 bookkeeping clients and 10 advisory clients by the end of
Mhm.
the year. So that's
Okay.
what I wrote down.
Okay. So if you think about those 4, what would have the most impact in your life on all? I mean, I believe I already know the answer, but out of all those 4, what would have the most impact in all of your life?
More clients.
Okay. Versus the 100K?
I mean, gotta have more clients to get 100K, but yeah, the 100K for this year, yeah.
So if you focus on 100, getting to 100K, then that's going to dictate how many new clients you need to get, how many types of clients you need to get, and all the 3 will fall under the 100K. So if the 100K, do you agree or disagree with that?
I agree.
Okay. So if the one that is going to make the most impact, then that becomes your number 1 goal for the next 12 months. So then you say, in regards to social media, okay, how do I go about posting to attract? I need to have this. Let's say that, for the sake of math, right? That let's say that you charge $10,000, which you don't, I know. Let's say that you charge $10,000 per bookkeeping client, and you say, okay, then that means I need how many clients a month to make 100 grand per year? How many?
10.
10 clients?
No.
No, that would be 1 client per month, right? Or 2
Well, if
clients
you're
per month.
charging $10,000 per client,
Right, but it's 100,000 a month or 100,000 a year?
I mean,
100.
if I can get 100,000 a month, gee, no, my goal, the small goal first, because can't
Yeah,
take the
the
big
small
chunk
goal is
yet.
the
But
year,
yes,
right?
100K by the end of the year.
That would mean 1 client. So that would mean that you could actually be really laser focused on finding that 1 client each month. So every month you're focusing on getting 2 clients, because 20, if you only, so if you get 1 client per month, then you would definitely reach your goal of 100 plus per year. So then your goal would be, okay, how do I find the copy paste method if I don't want to do videos yet? And I tell all of you right now, do not, unless you're Carlos and you're working closely with me, do not attempt to start doing videos. I would rather you do the copy paste method and stick to that for 90 days before you start trying to make videos. That's where you're going to be most effective. So now that you know that it's 100K, and then you look at the amount that you charge per client, then you're like, I need to secure this amount of clients, and this is how I'm going to this is what I'm going to post to attract those specific clients. So then once you know the specific thing that you're going to do, then you can tailor all of your posting and your content about that goal. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Okay. And then let's do it with you, Mel. Are you up for the challenge?
I think so.
So
So
what are the top, how many goals did you write?
2,
2 or 10?
2. It took me a while to
2.
find something to write on.
Okay. So what are your top 2 goals?
So my first goal would be to have 20 new people sign up, join me in my business.
Okay, so have 20 new clients, and then what's your second goal?
Okay, the next one is increase my income by 5,000 a month every 4 months. Okay,
That's complicated. Okay. So
okay, let's just say make $1,000 more each month. Put it that way.
okay. So you want to make $1,000 more each month, and then you also want to bring in 20 new clients each month or this year.
Each month, 20 a month.
Okay. Okay. So which one would have the bigger impact in all of your life? Bring in 20 new clients or bring in an additional $1,000 a month?
20 people.
So bringing 20 new clients would bring you more impact than $1,000 a month.
Well, the 20 people would create the 1K a month increase, at least. So my goal is really 20 people a month.
Okay. So if that's your goal, then we do the same thing that we did with Lisa, right? You would just go about how do you secure, because if what you're promoting is sleep, how do you find those 20 people that are going to want to become your clients? But with you, it's a little bit convoluted because of the back end story that I know about you. So that I think there's a disconnect on the things that you think you want and the things that the post would be saying. So I don't think they're one and the same, because you can get 20 people to purchase the product, but that doesn't mean that you're going to have 20 new people as business partners. Does that make
Right.
sense? So
Yeah,
this
and everyone will become business. We know that. So
this is where you have to be really keyed in on the 6 P's. That's what you really want to take advantage of, the 6 P's. So when it comes to the Brian Tracy, I would do the Brian Tracy, and I will send you this again. Mel, you want to do the Brian Tracy 3 times before you really hone in on what your main goal for the next 12 months is. Does that make sense for everybody?
Yeah.
Okay. And then how to get rich. That's just something that you want to listen in the next 30 days. It is 4 hours, but it'll be the 4 hours that will be life changing. And then when you want to implement everything that I've given you so that it makes sense in your, like, especially if you know that you're really smart or that you've been successful or that you're intelligent, which is all of you, you've got to listen to Seth Godin. Because if you don't listen to Seth Godin, everything that I've told you today will go out, in one ear, out the other, and then you're gonna listen to all the gurus, to all the YouTubers, to all the other people. Like today, somebody told me, I don't know if the Craig is here, but somebody said that that Instagram is not for people doing business. That is just for people. I forget what it was. I was just like, oh my gosh, that couldn't be farther from the truth. Like, it couldn't be farther from the truth, right? So there's a lot of misconceptions that are out there. So these 3 things will hone in and will bring everything that I've shared with you and that I've taught you today. And we talked about the power of ChatGPT. So ChatGPT, I literally go to ChatGPT. So for my sales page, I literally came in and I said, so I'll give you an example. Client attraction training post. Okay, so I'm a member of BNI, and I'm not very good at we have to do a profitable introduction in BNI. So I literally come to ChatGPT and I say, you know what I do? I do my social, my Get Clients Club. I want you to do a profitable introduction for less than 40 seconds. And then use my core 4. So you gotta find out what the voice of the ones that you want to do. So I literally say, and then I say, well, I don't like that. Can you do this? So about this, hi everyone, I'm Maria Lupita, blah 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 blah. So I tell it what I want, and then I train Chat to always know that we're basing it on my core 4. So you want to find whoever your core 4 is to write your copy. Does everybody know what I'm talking about, the core 4?
no.
Okay. So when you're talking to ChatGPT or any AI, any artificial intelligence, you got to give it a prompt as to how it's going to talk to you. Otherwise, you can break it. So like with me, my ChatGPT was actually broken because I was telling it what to do on my own stuff. And I didn't know how to prompt it. So what would happen was that one day I was out with my buddy, Andy Nelson, who is an intellectual property attorney. And he started telling me what he was getting. And I'm like, I don't get that. How did you get that? He's like, yeah, it's ChatGPT. And I'm like, I didn't get that. So then I talked to my other friend, and he was getting something completely different. And I'm like, how are you guys getting this different? And then I learned that unless you are giving the right prompts to ChatGPT, you can actually break ChatGPT to give you the wrong information. So what I started doing is that I went and I researched who I wanted to sound like, what I wanted to come across like, and what copy was right for me. Copy meaning the writing, right? The information that is written. So I know that I like Seth Godin marketing philosophy. And I like Russell Brunson because Russell Brunson is the king of funnels and the king of modernized writing. And then Kennedy and Bill Glazer are the people that Russell Brunson learned from about copy. But Dan Kennedy and Bill Glazer, they have different styles. So I told ChatGPT to combine all four of them, because if I didn't put Seth Godin with the other three, it would still be very salesy and very not me. So Seth Godin brings in the philosophy of making an impact versus just making sales. Does that make sense, Mel?
Yes.
Okay. So you want to make sure that you train your ChatGPT as to what language you want it to use, so that you don't break it like I did. And then you're not going to know that it's broken until you compare somebody else doing the same thing that you're doing. And then we talked about competence, the competence stages. The smarter that you are, the harder time you're going to have, because you're going to beat yourself up if you don't have a way to check in. And it is your choice to get more clients or leave them behind on social media. It is your choice if you don't want to make an impact. And there's literally people that are praying for you to show up, literally. But if you don't choose to show up on social media, the pain that you solve, the path that you give, is not going to be found in any way if you don't give people a way for them to find you. So now I'm gonna go into my second promise that I told you I would give you, is that I told you that there's a lot of people that are always asking me, and this is actually why I created my Get Clients Club. My Get Clients Club is a program. Oh, before I do that. So before I go into my second promise, are there any questions before I go into my second promise?
When it comes to training GPT, is it every time we train it each time, or is it like,
no,
remember what we've been doing for the last month or two?
No, ChatGPT will keep all the memory of everything, and then if you broke it like I did, then you have to say erase all the things that we talked about before. You have to literally tell it that if you broke it, like I had, you have to tell it, forget all of this and start new with this, and going forward, remember this moving forward. And then sometimes it'll opt out, and then it'll try to do it differently, and like, hey, remember we talked about this. So it's like your free assistant, literally. But sometimes it'll throw on a little attitude. Gemini has a big attitude, like a big bad attitude. Okay, any questions before we move on to the next thing? Oh, I must have done such a good job that you guys don't have any questions. Okay. And if you have questions, hang on 1 second. I think I missed something from Patty. Where is Chat? Where is Chat? Do you tell it that? What do you mean, Patty? Can you talk? Every so often you need to every so often you need to remind them the instructions. Yeah. What do you mean by that, Patty?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Where do you go in Chat to tell it that you want to put those personalities in it?
You go in, and so like, for instance, let's say that I wanted to start today. Okay. Right. And I told it, then I would start a new prompt, right? And I would say, from now going forward, I want you to use the score 4 for everything, for all the copy that you write for me. So always use, and then I give it my 4. And I say, remember to always, moving forward, when I tell you to use my core 4, I'm referring to this, this, and that.
Okay, can you repeat that, what you just said? It's core, is it C-O-R-E, core 4?
So is my core 4? For you, it could be you're just one person.
Right.
But I did a combination of 4 different people.
Okay. Okay, got it. Okay, thank you.
C-O-R-E, core 4. But again, because it's 4 people that I'm using copy from.
Okay, thank you.
But for someone else, it could be core 2, it could be core 3, it could be core, I mean, you don't want to make more than core 7, then core, I probably not more than core 4, because I think it would get a little bit complicated, in my opinion.
Okay, thank you.
Of course, my pleasure.
Maria Lupita,
Yes.
I will give you the how you can make an agent in ChatGPT who will remember everything you have.
Okay.
And that will simplify everything.
Can you how long will it take you to tell us how to do it?
Or it's take time, but the thing is, when you create an agent, it's like having an employee who do the stuff for you. You train him, and after that he do the job.
But it's not something that you could tell us in 1 minute or less, right?
No.
Okay,
No.
yeah. So that's something that you can do a training on later. But right now, because of the sake of time, I want to make sure that we finish before it's too long. Okay, so the second promise that I tell you that I was going to keep is that I was going to share with you exactly how to get into my Get Clients Club. And this is a choice that you have. This is nothing that you've already gotten. You're gonna get everything that I promised you. You're gonna get the deck that I just taught you. You're gonna get the recording. You're gonna get all the recordings of all the things that we talked about. You're gonna get everything that I promised. So whether you join my club or not, it's irrelevant as to me keeping my promise, my first promise of everything that I promised. But there's other people that have asked me about this. So until tonight, but I think I will be extending it because of various reasons. Everyone that joins is going to be joining at the grandfather pricing because it's still in pre-launch mode, meaning that my Get Clients Club is still being put together because I'm still researching everything that is going to be best for the majority average of my members. So because of that reason, then I want the members that are coming in to share what they want, what they wish for, what would be beneficial for them. So the founding members of the social media Get Clients Club, they're going to come in under the umbrella. I have 2 clubs. One is my iAccess, that is just for clients that want to have more access to me. But what I realized was that I wanted to make it very affordable for anyone to be able to have access to what I know without having to pay me hundreds of dollars or thousands of dollars. So I'm working with an expert that works with Russell Brunson to create this membership. And in this membership, you're going to get everything that I talked about today, but you're also going to get a community. So that every single day, Monday through Friday, if you have any questions, like today, Carlos approached me and he says, hey, can you go check on my videos? Can you give me some feedback? So of course I did. I went and checked on his videos. I gave him feedback, and then we put it all inside of the community. That the community sits in the platform called School, and it's right here. So in the School community, you're gonna get access to me 5 days a week, every single day. So if you have any questions, I come in and then I help you. And then because it's very important for people to also feel good about their health, just like we were talking about with Mel. One of the extra perks that I added in my Get Clients Club is that we actually have a master fitness trainer, someone that you can make an appointment on Wednesday nights so that you can get access to how do you improve your performance when it comes to being in your best fitness level. And then we also have an attorney, an intellectual property attorney that he by appointment, you can make an appointment with him. He's a $500 an hour attorney, but you can have access to him once a week on Tuesdays by appointment. And then Francisco is available by appointment. And you cannot get to him unless you're paying him $800. So that right there is an insane value, because I believe that if you have access to an attorney, you have someone to help you with your fitness, health, wellness, all things health, then it's very essential to do that. But in addition to that, what I did is that inside of my program, you have access not just to me, you have access to the members, you have access to all things social media marketing. So whether it's affiliate marketing, whether you want to build your own affiliate marketing, whether you want to build your own membership, whether you want to have access to digital products that you can give away or sell or give them so that you can actually attract more people to your offer, then we bring every single week, we bring you different digital products that you can offer for free or at a minimal price, or if you want to sell them, you can also sell them for 100% commission. But we offer different digital products that you have to be able to grow your email list, because as I share with you, emails equals income. Then we have all things AI, and we are going to continue to grow our AI. So I'm bringing in experts as we grow, so that they can come in and teach more things about all things AI. And then when you know social media, you still have to play into the game if you want to, about the hook, the CTA, the body of the content. So we give you the hooks, the CTAs and all things to make your content easier to make. And then Canva makes all things so much easier. So we give you the 101 basics guide on Canva. The other thing that a lot of people are fascinated by is that a lot of people don't want to be on camera. They are afraid of doing things on camera, but they do want to use videos. So for those that want to use videos, we do give faceless marketing videos. And we also give you a faceless marketing guide so that you know exactly what to post, how to post from A to Z when it comes to faceless marketing. And then the Get Clients Club, the whole purpose of it, like I said, I will give you the price in a moment, but it's less than it would cost you for a casual dinner with your favorite human. And I share my story with you about why is not just life changing, but it's also life saving. And when I learned about digital marketing, I couldn't go back to the old ways of getting clients. So this is my dad that I was telling you about. My dad was the most exceptional human being that I've ever experienced. And I got to spend my last 3 months with him because of digital marketing, because of my skills that I've learned through the years. And a lot of people, they think that they're going to wait until after they retire, but the average age is 78. So if you wait until after you retire, which is the age of about 65, and then you only live until 78, you only have 13 good years. So for me, I would rather make it to where we can live our life, our best life now versus waiting for later. So if any of this sound familiar to you, you're ready to build a business that works for you, not a business that you're working for, or you're tired of missing out on life important events, like, maybe not being with, maybe you don't have an elderly parent like I did, or an ill parent, but maybe you have kiddos, or maybe you're a fur mom. There's all sorts of things that people are missing out because they're grinding, or they're always trying to get clients in the traditional ways. Social media marketing makes it to where it's possible for us to be able to live our life on our terms without having to do all the things that are necessary to get clients and maintain clients. And then if you are wanting to build true freedom by just simply posting on social media and building compound marketing, then this is for you. If you want to be able to have access to a community that's going to give you the support, the feedback, the critiques, everything that you need to be effective and to be successful on social media, then this is for you. Right now, I did a survey, and I survey a lot of people so that I would actually know exactly. This is not me talking, but if I'm not going to read all of them to you, but if any of these sound familiar, I have no interaction with my audience. I feel that I don't know how to describe my offer. People are not engaging. I don't know how to get clients. I don't even know where to start. I don't know how to get ROI. I like consistent referrals. I just don't know what to post. So if any of this sound like this is you, I don't know how. I don't have a laptop and I don't have a computer. I don't have a mentor. I don't have guidance. I don't have any help. If any of that sounds familiar, then the Get Clients Club will solve all of those problems. So I created the Get Clients Club so that it would be affordable to everyone, because up until now, either people were paying me $100 a month or thousands of dollars to have access to me. And some of, like Hilda, we talked about Hilda. We didn't go into Alicia, but Alicia was another person that I sent her so many referrals that she actually said, Maria, hold on to referrals, right? The first thing is that you're going to be able to get you're going to be able to get social media marketing that is going to help you to have more consistent income, because you would have to agree that if you get more consistent clients, you're going to get more consistent income. You're going to be able to have more social media without having any tech skills. A lot of people feel that they have to have tech skills, but it's not necessary to accomplish this. And you will get all of you are going to get a copy of this so that you can go through this, because we're going to be running out of time, like I said. And then these are the things that that those that become founding members. So the founding members are going to get a special price that they're going to get grandfathered into that price, provided that they stay active. But one of the things is that they're going to get the blueprint, the 7 steps to how to creating contents that consistently get you clients, how to get the quick wins. Like I was telling you about, is that there's ways that you can get a win so that instead of you sending money to Uncle Sam, you actually keep more in your pocket. I was just talking to an attorney. He had no idea, because his CPA didn't tell him all the write-ups that he could have. And now, him being a content creator attorney, plus having all the write-ups, he's not going to be sending the money to Uncle Sam. He's going to be able to, and especially him being in his 70s, this is life saving for him and his wife. You're going to get to choose the one offer as to what it means and how to go about doing it. You get to know exactly how to build the transformation for your ideal client. And obviously you get to figure out who your ideal client is, because unless you know all of this, your social media is going to be, again, throwing spaghetti at the wall, hoping that it'll stick, but it doesn't normally stick. Then you're going to also work on getting the profile that actually gets you clients. A lot of people's profile is actually doing them a disservice than doing them any help. And it's actually sending clients away from them versus bringing clients to them. And then step 6 is that you're going to be able to learn how to be discoverable and have clients running to you and saying, Mel, can you tell me more about those stickers that you have so that I can sleep at night? I'm suffering. I'm having heart issues. I'm having this, because there's so many things that are related to the lack of sleep, right? So the more that you learn how to do this, the more that you're going to be able to have this available for the people that are looking for you. And then you're going to be able to turn people that are just scrolling into actual clients. The number 2 offer that you're going to get is that you're going to get my Vault Faceless Library Marketing that I just told you about. And every single month, we add more and more faceless marketing so that you never run out of content. And if you ever don't have what you're looking for, like let's say we have someone that is in the real estate industry and we don't have enough real estate, then you say, hey, Maria, I would like more real estate stuff. So then we bring in more real estate stuff. This is where you are not having to be wondering as to what you're going to post. All of what you need to post is handed over to you so that you know exactly what to post. So some of the highlights on the faceless marketing is the faceless marketing videos, faceless marketing guide, membership, done for you offer, the TikTok training, and these are actually this next ones are coming later. Launching your online business. For those of you that are coming to me that you say, Maria, by the way, I don't have an offer. So if you don't have an offer, I actually help you build an online offer so that you can start promoting it online, so that you can start building a business online and start monetizing your social media presence. And then I help you also master the email marketing. Yeah, I just help you master email marketing, because with the email, what people don't understand is that if you're not gathering emails, if you're not building your email list, you're leaving thousands of dollars on the table. Because if you have a social media presence, I didn't come to understand this until 2023, when I actually had someone help me along the way to walk me through it. And then you're also going to have the habit stacking training on learning the power of habit stacking, because if you try to do it on your own, it's not going to work. Jeffrey tried to do it on his own, but he got stuck in his head. So we had to grab him out of his head, grab him out of perfectionist, and grab him out of like thinking too much, but actually getting him to be able to habit stack and actually make things work for him. So eventually we are going to be bringing also Roadmap 3.0, and that will be available coming soon. And that's a $497 value. That is one of the best trainings that a lot of people have used in order for them to be able to become what they're offering today in terms of social media and digital marketing. And then twice a month, you're going to get calls with me. And I'm going to show you this instead of tell you. So every single other week, so on Mondays, every single other Monday, I coach and I train and I do Q&As for everybody about social media marketing and how to get clients. And then on the other weeks, I have a special trainer that comes in and then does the same thing that I do, or does a special training that people have requested as what is needed. And then as you can see, on Tuesdays, we have attorney by appointment, Andy Nelson, who is intellectual property and business attorney. And then on Wednesday evenings by appointment, we also have master trainer Francisco, who will help you to get out of your, whether it's fitness, whether it's overweight, whether it's your, whatever it is, but fitness has a big impact on how you are effective or not effective. So twice a month, you will have trainings with me, and you will be able to reserve the hot seat. And if you are not able to make it on Mondays, then you simply submit your questions and I answer them to you on a video, or I answer them in the training, or I answer them in the post that you posted. Then you're going to have 24/7 access to the community via Skool, as I showed you just a second ago, because there's people that we have people from all over. And as the community grows, there's going to be more people. So whenever somebody asks a question, I may not get to you immediately, but somebody else in the community will be there. And the more that you make friends in this community, the more that you're going to be more successful, because it has been proven that if you build a community with at least 7 people, you will be able to have more success. And then some of the bonuses that I've also added is that there's people that are not able, oh, so this is one of the things that I just trained you, and I was like, what am I talking about? So making ChatGPT your own free personal assistant. So when you implement everything that I do, oh shoot, when you implement everything that I do about ChatGPT and the core 4 that I went over with you, you're going to be able to turn ChatGPT into your own personal assistant, your own editor, your own proofreader, your own content expert, your own executive assistant, and it's life saving for sure. And then you're going to have you're going to be able to learn how to find a tax planner so that you can lower your taxes and also get $10,000 extra from just being a content creator. So when you take me up on this, and whether you do it or not, I mean, you should definitely do this, because you're going to be saving at least $10,000 in tax write-offs by becoming a content creator on whatever it is that you do. So that in itself is a $197 offer. on top of everything that you're going to be getting. And then bonus number 3 is never overpay for taxes. So if you don't find the right person, and Lisa and Dr. Carlos can testify to this, if you don't find the right tax advisor, you're going to be overpaying for taxes. You're going to be leaving money on the table. You're going to be sending money to Uncle Sam. So I help you not do that. And again, that's a $97 value. Number 4 bonus is how to get clients launch calendar. So similar to something like this, you are going to get a calendar that is going to walk you step by step as to what you want to do when it comes to your own content calendar, because everybody's different. Some people need to do videos, some people do copy and paste. So I give you a content calendar so you know exactly what to say, so you get out of your head into your heart, into an impact post. And again, all of this is available. It says for the next 2 hours, but I believe I'm going to leave it open because of a couple of things. And what it is that it's less than a casual dinner for 2, which is $37 for the founding members price. Or if you pay for the year, then you get 4 months for free, and it's only $247, which my clients pay me $997 a month. $997 a month, and this program is for $247 for the entire year. But I wanted to make sure that there was no friction on somebody being able to get the help that they need. And if you're being honest, when you're thinking about $247 or $37, or if people don't buy it at the founding members price, they're not privileged to this, and they buy it at the regular price of $47 a month, it's still a drop in the bucket in comparison to all the money that they're going to be saving. So again, any people ask the questions, what if I'm new to content creation? I just showed you, it doesn't matter. What if you join and you get everything that you wanted, but you want to cancel? I don't want you in the group unless you want to stay, unless you see the value. So you can cancel at any time. There's no commitments, there's no contracts. How often will I get help? I just told you, you're going to get help 24/7, Monday through Friday. And then every other Monday, twice a month, you get help directly from me. And then the other Mondays, I have someone else that comes in and also helps. There's not a refund policy because you get everything immediately. So it wouldn't be right for me to give you a refund. But if you end up buying the 1 year, then we would have a conversation about it. But the first month, it's not refundable. If you have any questions, you can email me at info@marialupita.com. How much time do you need to get your first client? As I showed you today, sometimes it happens quickly, sometimes it happens slowly, but I've never met anyone that didn't get results if they stuck to the program, if they were coachable and they were teachable and they did what was required. I mean, the perfect example is Jeffrey. I would never, I don't know if anybody knows how hard it is to market for what are you, Jeffrey? Mortgage brokers. Mortgage brokers are so freaking hard to market to. And within a short amount of time of him just posting, he got an actual call. That's exceptional. So sometimes we even get surprised as marketers. What kind of content am I going to be posting? You're going to be posting content that is right for you, right? Not what the gurus told you, not what you think is best. Is going to be what is right for you. And that's when we have to have sessions, and it's a trial and error. It's like every diet. I used to think that I needed to be vegan. It's actually really lethal for my body. I thought I needed to be fruitarian, really lethal for my body. So every body is different, and the same thing when it comes to content. So all of this, you can read about all of this, but the main thing is that the Get Clients Club will help you get clients, and it's cancelable at any time. You can leave at any time. If you have been thinking that you're tired of not getting clients through social media, then this is for you. If you are ready to start getting clients and people having their credit card ready by you just simply posting, then this is for you. If you're an action taker and you are ready to make an impact on more people than not, then this is definitely for you. If you are someone that you started doing your digital empire, but you are wanting to have more without doing all the heavy lifting, then this program will help you do it so that social media is doing the heavy lifting without you doing it. Some of the people that this is massively beneficial for is all coaches, accountability coach, mindset coach, financial coach, business coach, and you can see that, service providers, consultants. And again, the club is something that is extra special because this is something that I'm not offering, and Mel knows this. I'm not offer at this price for, and it took me a long time and a lot of work for me to go back and forth. But I started working with a membership expert, and we agreed that the best price that I could offer to make it a no-brainer, because look, if you get $10,000 back on taxes by being a content creator on your own specialty, then this is practically free for the next 10 years if you do the math. And then in addition to everything that we've already gone over, the other bonuses that you're going to be getting by joining in the next 48 hours is that you're going to get ebooks, planners, trackers, journals, and nearly $1,000 worth of additional value by just joining. And then you're going to get well, let me finish this thought and then I'll go to the next one. This is who this is not for. If you hate social media, this is not for you. I'm not here to convince you. I'm not here to talk you into social media. If you are not willing to be coachable, this is not for you. If this is anything crypto, if you don't want to get more clients, which is actually true, if you are like doing loans and grants and things like that, if you are into sending Telegram links, income claims, trading online, anything political, anything religious that is about nothing to do with making money online, or that is religiously specifically, not about spirituality, but religiously, anything that is totally off topic, and anything that is not allowable by law, or that is considered spam, or is not allowable by the platforms, that is not something that I can help you with. But if you're ready to build passive marketing, residual marketing, then this is for you. And then as another bonus, members of the community also get to refer the program, and then you get a chance to be part of our exclusive referral program, and then you get 50% commission, totally as a side thing. Nobody needs to do it, but people are referring, so it was the right thing to do. Let me see, what am I missing? I feel like that I'm missing one thing. Okay, so another thing, to recap everything, one of the other things that you're going to be getting is that you're going to be getting a 7-day action plan, because a lot of people get frozen that they don't know what to do. You're going to get the 6-figure closing script, because a lot of times people, they don't know what to say when people start asking them questions, and then we take that and then we put it into whatever industry you're working in. We give you a list of 200 Facebook groups so that you can start monetizing those groups, and we give you extra bonuses. So all of this for less than you would pay for a casual dinner for two, which is $37 a month for the founding members price. So if you want to get, if you want to take advantage of that, you simply go to accesswinning.com, and it'll take you to that page that I just showed you. And then at some point tonight, I will open, right now the membership is not open. At some point tonight, the membership will be open for probably 48 hours. And then that membership will stay open probably. I haven't decided, because today was, the next 2 hours was supposed to be the last time that I was going to have it open. But things have gotten in the way that has prevented me from closing it. So I think I'm going to leave it open. So are there any questions specifically about the Get Clients Club membership? Or Lisa? No questions. That means that I did a really good job of explaining the membership. Carlos says yes. Okay. So if you guys have no questions about the membership, then simply go and let me drop the. Do you have a question, Carlos? Okay, then I'm gonna drop the link. Access winning.com. It would help if I can spell. Okay, so you can grab the link over in the chat. And like I said, it's that right now is not open, but it'll be open once we finish the Zoom. It'll be open. Oh, thank you, Kevin. That it'll be open as soon as I come off, and then it'll stay open. Yay! So it'll stay open for the next 48 hours for the founding members price. And then, like I said, in terms of my first promise to you, are there any questions about what I promised that I would deliver? Do you feel that I delivered what I promised that you would get? Yeah? Okay. Now I'm going to ask you one last question. Do you feel what did you say about paying for the whole year? Oh, yeah. Oh, thank you. Yes. Okay. So if you do pay for the for the full year, is $247, which means that you get 4 months for free, plus you get an additional 1 full hour strategic session with me. So for those of you that join for the entire year, I would prefer to. Okay, perfect. Right now, neither one of them are open. But if you decide that you want to do the full year, you're gonna get 1 full strategic session with me, and then you get 4 months totally for free. Yeah, that's like a total no-brainer. Total no-brainer. And then for you, Natalie, this is exactly what you need because of all that you are. I think the only thing that you're missing is exactly having someone come alongside of you. What I was going to say, I want to make sure, yeah, for sure. So I want to make sure that the 3 hours that we spend today, a little bit over 3 hours that we spend today, that I want you to either tell me in the comments or tell me with your thumbs up that you feel inspired to go and post on social media. Carlos, what say you? Kevin says a heart. Okay. Mr. Mel. Can you unmute yourself?
I'm excited because you gave me something I need to work on.
Good. Awesome. And Miss Lisa, how do you feel now that you already had some sense of this, but how do you feel now having gone through this?
I feel accountability towards myself to get things posted. That's how I feel.
Is that good or bad?
It's a good thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Content. I'm like, well, is that good or bad? Okay, perfect. Well, any of the rest of you, Jeffrey, great information, perfect. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Yes, thank you, perfect. So again, go over to, for those of you that want to take advantage of it, it's not open yet, it's still closed. The grandfather pricing will be available for the next 48 hours. I don't know how much longer I will keep it. It'll just be available for the next 48 hours. I don't know how much longer it's going to have the offer that we have right now. But then after that, there'll be different offers versus the one that I have at this moment. So with that, I want to thank you, and please lift your hand, go and put it on your back, and then go pat yourself on the back, because you just spent 3 hours learning 3 hours learning how to make an impact on the clients that are literally looking for you. So with that, have an amazing night and go rest easily in bed tonight, because you now have everything that you need to be successful on social media. So good night, everybody. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Jeffrey. Have a good night, everybody.